Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I was having a nice little serene entry, as I usually try to do, and then freaking Ryuji shows up and says, "Hey, we're the Phantom Thieves. What's going on?" So, hey, what's going on? Thank you very much for the sub, Spider Gecko. Much appreciated. Hello, we're doing some Zelda today. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, I just noticed the fucking the thing's down again. I don't understand why that keeps doing that. I don't know. What's going on there? What the fuck's going down? We haven't had as normal. We've gone through with our bi-weekly game schedules. And by normal I mean for a month we didn't even have games. So I guess we should count our blessings as we are right now. Speaking of counting our blessings, hopefully my internet doesn't crash. If it does, we will ignore any conversations happening in chat because I can't stop it and it only makes me sad. But hopefully everything will be perfectly fine. It'll at least be perfectly fine for the VOD, so it doesn't matter too much. We are coming back into some Zelda. Last time we were here, we had some neat ramifications from our little mini arc that was going down. So maybe we can see how that's going to affect the greater narrative.
All right.
We'll see how that kind of comes down in just a bit, just a little momo. Yeah, I'm going to split us over into the actual room now. Hiya! And we will roll to see if anybody wants to tell us anything what happened last time. Does anybody want to volunteer, or should I leave it up to the dice once more? That's what I thought. All right, Emerald, you will be number 4.
No one ever does.
Emerald will be number 4. Squeaky will be number 2. Anthony will be number 4 or number 1, and Eric will be number 3. Who was 1 again?
Emerald.
Emerald.
Yeah, I was 4.
Oh, you were 4?
I was 4.
Who was 1?
I think Squeaky was 1.
Squeaky.
Okay.
What happened last time?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Well, shit.
Eric.
I've been very busy.
Last time,
I believe in you.
we were in the place. Yeah, no, we are right. We started after having just talked to Gallen's grandma, and she was a big old meanie. So we left her to go talk to the other Poe grandma lady who sold us her house, and she wasn't nearly as bad. She wasn't perfect either, but she wasn't as bad. And we, we talked to her about how she's trying to make a house or something, and there's a weird creepy stalker ghost that won't leave her alone. And how she used to know the Sage of Creation and stuff. And we talked to her about Shefos, who apparently was always a Wolfos, which we didn't know before. And his name was Trevor. Trevor. And
please don't. That's my boss's name.
okay.
I pointed that out last time too. I was
Right.
Not his name is Trevor.
It's Trevor. It's Trevor. Trevor. One or the other.
But yeah, so that's his whole thing. And apparently, the Sage of Creation was a big old jerk face who was trying to do some kind of weirdo spell on Poe Grandma. But Trevor was like, "Nah, I ain't having none of that," and so he got in the way, and now it's on him. Now he's spelled. He's been spelled. And that's not good. He's having a rough time of it. But after talking about all that for a while, we left that, and we went to go get, or at least Ronan went to go get Jason, so we could talk, or went to go get Jason and Argo, and then talk about doing the stuff for the scrying and the finding out who the heck Jason's dad is. And Argo was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go help out Ivory." So they did that for a bit. Ronan and Jason talked about stuff. They played a song. They played a song together. Talked about how it, they literally together break all of time and space. And it was a good time. Heckin', we talked about the Gorthos and Matilda talked for a good long while about heroes and such, and how Matilda, she can be a hero too. And the details of that whole conversation elude me because I had to step away during it. But heckin',
there was a fun back and forth with Matilda and Jason, where they were both whenever they were both like talking back to the other to either Ronan or to Gorthos, they were like, man, kind of jealous of that person. I feel really bad for them, but also they're kind of a lot.
yeah. Yeah, so that was a nice conversation as well. And then we talked about the hole for a long time, a really long time. And then we put stuff in it, and by stuff I mean my head. And I saw like forever and space and spaceships and dragons, and it was really weird. And I was playing with portals for a little bit, and then Ivori slapped me and it hurt. But we know what the hole does now, kind of. I mean, not really, but they can do stuff with the hole now, so that's cool. And we went back to rest for the night because we were like, it's gonna take a while for Argo and Ivori to do stuff, so we'll give them a little time. We all went to our respective beds, and the next morning Gorthos and Polo woke up in the house, and Galen was there with his two neato friends, heckin' Gary and Mary.
Mary!
And he had a couple of little chickens, little cuckoos. And Gorthos was terrified. I'll let you guess of which one. Heckin' Galen was like, I went through a whole time. Let me tell you all about it. Jasmine and Clavier there, it was great. Also, here's a thing for Ronan, I guess. And that was basically it, right?
Yeah. Mostly it was just a bunch of talking. There was some things thrown into the void, which again took a lot longer than even I expected it to, the expanse stuff. But we had to stick our heads in.
You put a space hole in front of us and told us you didn't know what it did.
As you guys were fumbling around with that and you guys are doing other things, you guys had some little cute moments. There was the idea that Gorthos was talking about potentially trying to take over something that wasn't dead, and Matilda was like, hey, if you're gonna do it, let it do it to me, because I'm consenting right now, and I feel like that's a good thing to have if you're gonna try some dangerous shit like that. But also I want to be useful and shit. Also, they have mentioned, again, because you weren't around for it, they did mention that there was a demon out there that they originally had gotten their identity and things from whenever they were hiding, that had mentioned to them that the age of heroes is long past and the age of heroes is dead. So that's pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah, Gorthos was like, fuck that shit.
And also there was a nice little song play from Ronan and Z and Jason as well. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Other than things that were mentioned there, Marco put a tree inside of the fucking the expanse. That was pretty fucking crazy.
I sure did. Magic beans and magic dust, threw it together and put it in the hole, and it kept
We
growing.
made a fucking beanstalk for someone to climb up into the giant town.
And now somewhere, some when, sometime probably, there will now be a giant beanstalk that collapses down into the world and causes untold destruction.
I can't wait for that to be us in the future.
You guys are just fucking hanging out, like fighting something. All of a sudden, it's like fucking out of nowhere.
I can't wait for whatever campaign happens after Zelda for it to appear.
We do another fucking. Not even a Zelda game. We just do a fucking. We do fucking Pokemon 2 or Mega Man 2 or something, and fucking all of a sudden a beanstalk falls down and destroys like a bad guy for you. Anyway,
you keep constantly making us roll a D100 or something to see if it shows up or not.
And I will always have it in the back of my brain now. It's always gonna. It'll always be there. I might make. I'll make FOMO make us a karma card for it. I don't know. We'll see.
The tree card.
With all that being said, though, you guys have awoken for this day. You guys know at the end of today, more not the end of today, more like the end of tonight. So like the start of tomorrow. It's weird. Will be the time that Ivori wants to eat the cake. So that is happening at some point relatively soon. So anything you guys want to do with the witches and things, because after this, WitchCon will be over. Anything you guys want to do with the witches and stuff that you have either said to or promised to or anything like that probably needs to happen sooner rather than later, but we'll talk about that for the day. You have plenty of time. It is early morning. Gallon has shown up, shown off the Cuckoos as well as the Gary and Marys, has said that there was a bunch of shit that gone down over in Kakariko. Watch the Jasna Journeys, which is another name that I've just made up for them, which probably should have been the name of it in the beginning because of alliteration. But I would say that at this point, Gallon would have regaled you guys with the full story. If there's anything you guys want me to specifically go over, obviously we can. But given that there is other things to do, they have mostly told you everything about the ending of the Kakariko endeavors, the large undead creatures they fought, a bunch of the things going down, and again, the loots that they might have gotten from it, such as the thing that is on the table, which would be a little book that has a song written down with a message of warning from Jasna saying, if you misuse this song, Ronan, I will murderify you or something. Also, I know you wouldn't, but still. So that's super fun. As we come out of that, as Gallon is done regaling the two of you with the entirety of that story, and also mentioning, you know, there's just like a weird spider demon in Kakariko, but he's chill. They're fine. They're not really that crazy or anything. Also, apparently ghosts have parties at graveyards. That's pretty cool to know. But yeah, at this point, you would have known that there are some undead creatures in the other room doing some cooking, things of that nature. Polo, you can either freak out about that or be fine with that. It does not matter to me. As we are coming back into this, is there anything you guys would like to bring up, like to bring up here, like to ask our little Gerudo pal?
She already freaked out last game. She was already in that, like, you put what in my kitchen, and then she had done that thing where she opened the door, looked in, they turned around, and then she just closed the door. So like that was already done, and then she was like, explain, and he's already explained. So
okay. And that's basically the entire story.
I see.
Any notes? Mainly, we have a chicken coop now. It belongs to us, legally.
Oh. I mean, chickens are...
I don't know why they call it a chicken coop. It's full of cuckoos.
Cuckoos? You mean a cuckoo coop?
Orthos doesn't have time to explain why that's wrong anyway.
Maybe the guy who had it before us was named Chicken or something.
Me. I feel like that's racist.
He just shrugs.
Like
it just said chicken coop. That's all I know.
So you mentioned going a place and then avoided that subject for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I'm really sorry about this, Gorthos, but there are things more terrifying than a giant demon skeleton that I have to worry about.
He's not going to threaten you, but also yes, like
exactly. What? You're not going to threaten me. others have already.
You can't just tell about the dead hand amalgamation and not
It's
tell them where it was.
gone. We don't have to worry about it. It's dead. Oh, we do have to have a lookout for some kind of a talisman or something that's missing from the place I can't tell you about.
What? There's a wait.
It's more like a medallion, like the things you guys have. Apparently, it's missing.
Oh.
What's it called?
See, this is not me being cagey. They didn't tell me.
So we're supposed to find a medallion.
Mm-hmm. That
without
was
being told. What does it look like?
Well, I do have a name for you, but it isn't the name of the medallion, but it's maybe a name to look out for, if that helps.
I think anything would help at this point.
We don't know that he's the one responsible, but I mean, let's be honest, if there's ever somebody that mentions something and they're not around anymore, we can kind of assume that that person got out of there in a bit of a hurry. I'm thinking it has something to do with a guy called the Sage of Shadows.
Another sage.
Mm-hmm. Apparently things are gathering all about them or whatnot. All these sages are doing some sneaky weaky things.
Oh no.
There's just that little bit of a cross. Are we going to SageCon next?
I wouldn't recommend it. In fact, I've actually been told against working with any of them. Did I mention that I went to Kakariko and the entire time I was there, the goddess of the sand and the goddess of time didn't actually know I was there, and once whatever we did there had opened up that realm to being seen again, I got a big earful, 2 of them in fact. It still hurts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dear. They must have been absolutely livid with you.
Yeah, you can say that. He brings his hand out, and as he does, you see him look as if he charges something in the palm of his hand as a tiny little wisp of smoke comes out of his palm. Bang.
Have they punished you? Temporarily?
I hope it's temporary.
Why would they punish you? You couldn't have known.
Well, I kinda did go to that place knowing that there was something wrong without letting them know. And then didn't actually try to get out once I realized there was danger there. That honestly, even though I can't tell you everything about it, you definitely understand with the things I have told you, how dangerous it was, and then think of the thing that I can't tell you, and then times the danger you already know by 3.
Only 3?
That's the roundabouts that I have kind of tried to lowball it. They're not very happy with me. I've been told to stay away from any sort of sage activity or anything like that. And then I told them, well, what if I just was a sage? I mean, look at how good I can do with magic. And then they took my magic.
I'm actually trying to remember if in the intermedium before he headed out to Kakariko, would he have told Bolo about going anywhere?
He would not have.
Or if he just okay. Okay, then as he's
like,
citing this,
one big thing that is on his
power.
brain especially is that he knows you guys are busy doing your things and he doesn't want to stop you guys, and he didn't know there was anything dangerous happening. All he knew was that Jasmine was avoiding him. And that he couldn't talk to Clavier after a while. What's that for?
I guess it is unreasonable to be a little bit peeved at your actions. Or the lack of communication thereof.
Hey. He like goes over to you, puts his hand on shoulder. You can be as peeved at me as you want to be. You have permission. Others don't. He puts his head up.
Or those things permissions and they don't care much about.
I'm a little annoyed.
You couldn't tell.
I mean, I get being mad that something could have happened, but you see him look at his hand again where that smoke came from. That's going a little far.
Well, they may not be omniscient, but they are fickle.
I can still do some windy things, but I can't conjure any water or fire at all.
Oh, I suppose you're a sage of wind for now, then.
I wonder if there's anything you can do to even just settle some of their anger.
I've made a couple of
Stands and
small
times, stands and
breakthroughs.
times.
Whenever I was studying things, I did make a couple of small breakthroughs, but nothing large. I'm gonna need to, I don't know, try to figure out more about the Fey magics, different things like that. I was thinking about making my way into the forest again, but then they told me to stay away from the forest, and I'm like, why? And they're like, you know why? And I'm like, right, the big bird.
There may not
Also, the
be a
slime that
worry
can
for
take
some-
over all of your motor functions. Also, the fact that fairies and Koroks are apparently turning themselves hostile for no reasons. Also, apparently, there's
What's a
just
motor?
like a motor function.
Shush.
It's shut up. It's a fucking phrase. Leave me alone. As in your own motor function. Gosh,
Mm-hmm.
what motors are named after? Anyway. He just sort of, because I can't remember my train of thought, he just sort of like trails off.
Fairies and Koroks going violent. Reasons why they don't want him to go to the forest. Okay, it's gone.
Brain.
Sorry.
No,
gone.
it's fine. It's fine. There was something else that was gonna be said, but it isn't. It was just a gallenism. It wasn't something important.
Well, then now what are you going to do? It seems like they want you to stay put, but knowing you, you're going to get rather finicky.
I have been thinking about the different ways that I can possibly go against what they told me to do. Problem is, I've said that out loud a couple of times, and they've also warned me a couple of times about that. At the moment, I'm gonna head back to the tower, or stay around here, which is also technically the tower. He shrugs.
I mean, this place is an extension of it now.
Exactly. So I can more or less say that I'm on house arrest. Luckily enough, we have a really big house.
Luckily enough.
I still want to make my way. Jasna has a big thing that they want to help out a man named Sun with. He just like trails off like, Apparently he was making his way over to the Kakariko town looking for female warriors to go with him into the desert. Because of the fact that men apparently have been disappearing and things around there. So
Yes.
Jasna wants to take a small group of female Sheikah into the deserts and go with him and to do that. I was trying to see if I could make my way there, and they didn't give me a straight answer, so I'm guessing that means that whenever they calm down, I can maybe ask again.
It is probably worth an attempt.
When it comes
I
to
mean-
the deserts, I have already told them, and I'll say the rest out loud. There's no force that exists that can stop me from making my way back there if there's something wrong.
Mortal tenacity. Something that no god can account for.
So hopefully I can go there with their blessing instead of trying to activate that mortal tenacity. We'll see. What about you
You'd
guys?
think.
The witches are
Witches.
pleasant. They are, in fact, witches. We saw your grandmother.
Sorry.
She was actually quite delightful.
Narrows eyes. It's just like, are you sure you saw my grandmother?
Yes,
We're-
no, she was quite delightful.
Rova, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love her to death. I mean, she's never been outwardly horrible to me, but at the same time, I'm not completely convinced that she wouldn't be horrible to other people.
She let me call her grandma.
He brings his hand that was on your shoulder up to your head. Are you sure you're not sick?
Well, I simply took an initiative as if you or Brother Kuro would have, and I thought I had gotten her ire, but then she seemed rather indifferent, and then she asked for my skin, for her part, and she said actually a lot of wonderful things about you.
You don't have to lie, Polo.
No, Gothos, you were there.
Yes, he was.
She said a lot of wonderful things that she even admitted she could never say in front of you, and then I played a trick on her.
And yes, it was that point that then Polo lied.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
tell her.
played a trick on her, and I told her that my ring had recorded everything that she said to you, and she got very, very nervous.
Oh, that's
so if you go around her, and if she starts acting nervous, it's because she thinks you know.
Which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because of
She
the
said
fact
that
you told me.
She said that you were always brimming with potential and the ability to be great. She was just engaging in sabotage.
In sabotage?
Gothos feels like that's an incorrect word.
Okay, maybe that is not the proper word. How do I explain this? Well, she said the whole thing about the Gerudo tradition in hopes that you would want to go above and beyond to be remembered, and did not factor in that you cared enough about Kuro that you would throw your chances away. For his sake.
Which neither of you have thrown away any chances, by the way.
No, but... And she never really said how she truly felt because she worried it would get to your head.
Huh.
It's hilarious considering it already went to your head.
Well, she thought it could get there to a detrimental degree in that you would not take your studies of magic seriously.
That is believable enough, I guess.
Ask any one of the others.
It
If you don't believe either of us.
seemed that she had good intentions, just has not socialized enough to know why her methods were extremely, grossly flawed.
Very
believe
ancient
me,
saying about pathways and good intentions. You can't remember the whole phrase, though.
Believe me, I somewhat reminisced on my teachings a bit ago. Very vividly, actually.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. The dreams.
Do you know what? Huh? He like looks over toward Gorthos, like, you know about my dreams?
If they, with that context you've given, you're not the only magically inclined individual having powerful reminiscence occur.
Miss Saga and Princess Matilda have been having similar dreams about their experiences with magic.
Even Jason,
Aga
he
shouldn't be
believes, suffered from that.
Aga shouldn't be connected to me anymore, though.
Well, it is not so much a connection with you, it is someone almost invading her. And probably other mages. I don't think it involves the goddesses, but it seems like whatever entity was doing it was copying her magics.
It did happen after I made my way out from Castletown.
We believe there to be a culprit in the castle dungeon.
No, if they're in the dungeon, then I would just go find them.
We have intentions to go there, some of us. Gorthos especially needs to speak to them.
Well, they should be letting down the gate any time now. If you have any other people you want to bring with you, now's probably the time to go and grab them.
Yes.
Because if there's somebody there that can tell me about what happened there, I'm definitely down to find out.
It is.
I just thought it was a
strangely-
weird, vivid dream I had. I told Jasmine and the others about it, but if it's happening to other people, I wonder why.
It strikes Gorthos as distressingly reminiscent of how his power works. In a way. Though he does not forcefully invade the minds of others, typically. There have been exceptions in recent history. He looks at his own hands. But, regardless.
Miss August said it is cause for very great concern because she is knowledgeable of some very destructive and powerful magics. If they've been able to replicate them from her without going through any of the sort of training, if it is somebody in the castle dungeon, it could be very, very dangerous.
Aga told me at one point that the magics she had were sort of at the highest level you could attain, and if they look at the training that, if anybody tried to look at the training I had and gained any insight over it, I do think that I had some very intense training of my own. If they're trying to take experiences, we're lucky that they're in the dungeon if they are, but hopefully they didn't get to do whatever they were trying to do. I'm really wanting to go and check it out now, actually. I was gonna go and lay down, but I think I'm really wanting to go and check this out.
Yes, we're leaving the cuckoos behind.
He looks down at them. You're right. We should let them loose in the city. They'll be safe there.
No.
How about you go after?
He's like puts his hand on the doorway.
How about you go after laying down? After laying down. Just because you've healed yourself does not mean you are rested.
He like
This
looks
tried to make that
over.
argument 1,000 times. He's never won once. Do not try it, Gal.
He looks over towards you, Polo, and then kind of like looks up and away. How can I put it? We had some interesting things happen with us that if I do go and lay down, I'm not entirely sure how well I'm gonna be sleeping anyway. I'm also kind of just putting that off. Those creatures, they I kind of downplayed them a bit. They're kind of complete actual nightmare fuel.
Has Gorthos ever dealt with any kind of dead hand before?
You know of it, and you do know of whenever things were happening before, there was the dead hand hands that had appeared. When it comes to the dead hand itself, probably not.
One of the few things even Gorthos has little knowledge of. You can only imagine what you've seen.
They are just wrong, is the best way I can put it. I can kind of still see them whenever I get a little bit too comf. I was putting off sleeping. Clavier slept like a baby, though. Or I guess like a birdie? One or the other.
His mind is an interesting one, to say the least. But he has his own ways of coping with the trauma. Believe Gorthos. Some things never get easy with time. But you'll be fine.
And I'm sure that even if Jasna did have any strangeness about it, she wouldn't have ever let it sit on her face. So I have no idea how she slept.
Well, the only advice he can offer is to not repress it. It will only cause more problems. It will be difficult.
Trying to offer a healthy solution to things. You know I hate healthy food.
Oh.
Yes.
I guess
that's why we have the meat tree.
Unless it's
the alcohol
yours.
is out of the question.
Oops.
I guess the alcohol is out of the question.
Unless it's yours or alcohol. Wait, alcohol's healthy?
No, it is.
I mean, wine can actually be very beneficial when taken responsibly and not
my
overindulging.
favorite health food.
Do you understand who you speak to?
I can keep an eye on him and make sure he is taking a healthy dosage.
And I can keep an eye on her and make sure that they're keeping an eye on me having a healthy dosage while also having a healthy dosage themselves. And then we can have their eye keep an eye on us while we're keeping an eye on each other.
By the way, this is actually Father's eye.
We can face the eye away. We can face the eye away in a different room while we.
we can leave that outside.
Another Greg, or those needs another sage with destructive coping mechanisms running around the world. Fine, sure, go for it.
If you think that I should go and lay down, I will. But I cannot understate how much I'm curious about whatever person you have down in the dungeons.
Don't worry, we won't get rid of them yet. Plenty of time.
Okay. But I guess whenever you're done, go and check on those ones that are in our dungeons.
What?
I told you about them.
Huh?
Oh yes, it was distracted by the place you can't talk about.
Yeah. Still can't.
One day that village will be empty and Gorthos will start digging.
I don't know. Maybe you can convince those guys to tell you.
Ooh.
Hmm.
They are apparently Sheikah though, so I'm not sure if they'll give away anything like that.
Well, surely there must be some way to make even traitorous Sheikah speak. They're notoriously difficult at that, though.
Either way, I guess I'll go upstairs and lay down then. Let's go, Polo. He takes
do you want me
the
to tell
bird.
you?
Oh, did you want to come too?
I mean, I thought I was maybe regale you with tales of the wondrous expanse.
I thought you were gonna make your way over to the dungeons.
No.
Hmm?
No.
Hmm?
You're like, no. I did not say that.
I mean, someone has to go to the dungeons if you guys aren't gonna let me go. That person apparently is going through my brain.
Looks at Gorthos like.
Don't worry, Polo. Don't worry, Polo.
He's just holding the three of them. He's like, here. He just picks up Polo, puts her down, picks up little baby Kuko, puts it in the hand. There, go, chew.
Fine.
Don't worry, Polo.
about
I'll
this?
have Polo. Polo!
Yoink. And then just place.
Well, my words
How
haven't
about
changed.
We will do the meeting halfway. You will rest, and then we will go to the dungeon.
That's up to you. I'm probably going to be out for most of the day if I rest. I haven't slept in a bit.
That is fine, neither have I.
Didn't you just wake up?
Go on. Starts pushing. Go on. Starts pushing.
I will remind you, Squeaky, that there are a lot of things that need to happen today. So if you
I know.
if you go and try to sleep for another like 8 hours, it's gonna be pretty bad.
No, she'll probably wait until he actually falls asleep and then freaking leave a cucko in there for safety or something.
You're gonna make your way up there. We'll leave you there for now. We'll see what goes down in just a momo. Before we leave this place, Gorthos, is there anything you'd like to do before making your way anywhere?
Place.
They start attacking you and you die.
Fuck.
Yeah,
he just looks at his little menagerie. Fuck.
He agrees wholeheartedly. He's not cut out for this. He puts down the emerald eye, but he was like, wait, no. There we go. Don't eat that. He hates puzzles. All right. Where would you do the least amount of damage? Puts Aster on table.
I mean, is Aster still narcoleptic?
I was sleepy.
Nick.
I was sleepy before, but we've been talking for about an hour or so, so I'm fine now.
I can just fly. I can just fly, Gorthos. I don't need to be carried.
I don't even know how you are. I don't even know how you are carrying me. I'm so tiny. I don't even take up any space. You're acting like you're over encumbered by holding me.
Have I gained weight?
You just shrug. You can't tell what you look like.
If I have gained weight, then I can fix that by levitating a little bit more so that you don't feel the weight.
You're not very heavy at all. You're fine. Why do we always have a menagerie? Why do people have to pick up so many pets?
Gorthos, do you want to do anything though before anything right
little funny placing things on things aside, just trying to figure out how to place things without destroying the house. There are prisoners in our dungeon, but I don't know how much time that'll cut into the actual person like mind bender dungeon. So
it really depends. Again, any of these things of going and talking with people, you know that there are people that want to talk to people at the over at the castle.
Exactly.
When it comes to the people downstairs, you don't know if there's anybody in particular who wants to talk to them. However, you're also not sure how much you can get out of them yourself without any sort of help or understanding of other things. It really depends on if you want to do all that yourself or not. It just depends, man.
I'll wait till everyone wants to go to the castle dungeon because my curiosity is too great. So Berthel just be fine. He'll just do his own thing for a little bit while he waits, idling.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't do nothing right now.
I'm not sure how much waiting you're going to do, which is also the same with Polo. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take him to fall asleep, but we will see. Let's go ahead and make our way over to Marco, who would have made his way over to his room over in the Heckin farmhouse, I believe, was where you said you were going.
Maybe he'll sleep in his own room so that the room at the house can, be used by other people that need it.
Can't believe you're giving up your room in your house to go to your room in your house.
I know, right?
As you would be making your way off to that room, obviously nothing big would have came from things there. However, you would have felt the effects of the Triforce, as I mentioned before, because you guys got those stat ups last time. You would have felt the effects of that as you woke up for your day, looking out and about at the different things. This isn't your house, but it's the only other fucking little thing there, so I'm gonna put you over here. This is not your room.
I'm pretty sure that's a bathroom.
Yeah, you're in the bathroom now. So
I'm not that bad, but that's also a toilet.
Yeah. It's perfect for you.
Shut up.
No.
111 sessions that I can't get past the whole bathroom bullshit.
You're literally in a little small area in the backyard of this place, so you were good.
Yeah.
But as you would have woken up feeling that bit of a increase to your power, is there anything you would like to do in the early morning? You do know that a lot of you were wanting to make your way to Castletown at some point today to go and do any questionings of those people that you have that apparently got taken to the dungeons. But is there anything else you would like to do?
I cannot think of anything specifically that wouldn't take up the day that he would do on his own, because there is obviously the continued training with the Sheikah at the castle that he could do, but that could take up anywhere between the entire day to then, and not knowing when the other people will arrive.
I would also remind you that this is also, from what you understand, the last day of WitchCon. So if there's anything you want to do at WitchCon, taking up the entire day to training probably isn't the greatest idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying that it's not something he would do.
Yeah. You could just make your way back to the house.
He will just make his way back to the house and wait for when everyone is ready to go, I guess, because I don't have anything specifically in my head, in my brain hole, that is saying this needs to be done immediately as I wake up.
It's perfectly fine. You would make your way back to the house. We can assume that while you are there, you would meet up with Gorthos, and Gorthos could potentially give you the rundown on what happened with Gallon, noting that Gallon and Polo would be upstairs at this point, so you guys can have a chat about that. You can help him out with Garf, apparently, because he's having some problems there. You see some cuckoos around, and he's keeping a wide berth from them, but they're cuckoos. One of them's name is Polo Jr., or Lil P, whichever one you want to call it.
Lil P.
Lil P's pretty cute, pretty good. But if there's nothing there, we will go over to Ronan.
Hi.
who also would have made their way out and about. You would have made your way back to your room over in the Zora domain, which I would remind you is very empty at the moment. As you would make your way there with Obra for the night, you guys would have been met with almost complete silence, other than the waterfalls and other time the water
Right,
things
because the
around
entire
area.
domain's empty now.
Yep, because everybody went off toward the river domain. And then from the river domain, they're making their way over to Ateno as well. So lots of things going on over there. You and Obra would have laid down for the night. You guys would have had your sleeps, had things going down. You guys would have been there with Z and Radon and Magic Frog, obviously. I would like to know, is there anything you would like to do in the beginning of your day that isn't something that has to do with the castle town? Though you do know that because of everything going on with Aga and apparently Matilda and everybody, you do want to make your way over and check on with those peeps as well. The person that apparently got charged with those things. You guys were waiting until the doors opened for that. But is there anything you guys would like to do before that? Anything you'd like to do other than that at the moment?
I mean, kind of, but it's stupid.
No, anything, you can do whatever stupid thing you want to do. Stupid?
You're Roman. Stupid's in your nature.
You know what? You're right. I really just kind of wanted to stick my head in the hole again.
You want to make your way back to the thing?
Sure.
We can say that you guys have woken up, and before making your way back to the main area, you can attempt to stick your head inside of the hole once more. That is a perfectly same thing for you to do.
Yes.
As it didn't hurt you yet, so you know, I guess it's fine. You would make your way back, Rudon.
Unless Obra has any strong objections to it.
No, you survived the last time. It was whatever.
Okay, cool.
Anything to get back at these other witches. I don't give a crap.
All right,
as long as you're not gonna die or anything, it's fine. As you would make your way over to the expanse, you would know that most of the witches at this point would be asleep. However, you would find that there are a couple of witches that do seem to still be somewhat active at the moment. Coming back to this place, you would find that both Riva and where is she? Can't find her. Where are you at? Did I actually lose you? Oh, she was just with the other fucking witches for some reason, even though she's not a witch. You would know that Riva and Ellen are up on the top area. Those guys you've never seen ever have to sleep. You would also find that that over by where the main little cave area was, where all of them had gone to chat at before, there is a Cality as well as a Forest who would be hanging out around that area, checking out the expanse, and also seemingly writing some things down in their notes about it and whatnot, looking as if they have their own little items that they may or may not be using with the current goal of figuring out what the fuck this thing is. But most of the other witches you would know would most likely be asleep at this time, since they are very nocturnal in this area.
Yeah.
So, as you make your way over, you want to stick your head in the expanse once more?
Sure, man.
You bring your head down into the expanse. As you do so, you make a hazardous guess as to what you might see going in. The last time you had looked into there, you had seen, again, mostly the, from what you can kind of guess at, space, as well as, you know, other things like that.
Spies.
The only place that has not been touched yet by capitalism.
Jasna's least favorite place.
Exactly. But other than that, I would like for you to roll me a d20, please.
That's okay. I thought that was a 1 for a second, and I was gonna be really scared.
With a 7, you stick your head down and you look about the area. After seeing the first little area of the expanse again, the sort of cold vacuum of space. It isn't really even a vacuum. You're actually doing perfectly fine in there. Nothing like your eyes aren't bulging out or anything. Weird seeing a fish in space, but whatever.
Yeah.
As you stick your head in and look even further, you do find that you do come up in a relatively hot environment. You find as you look off and around, you seem to be sticking your head out of a small little lake within an area of extremely bright sunlight. As your head is sticking out of said lake, you look a little bit further off and around. You find that you are looking at sands.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you are looking around and about at this lake, you do find that currently there isn't much that is giving you any kind of vibes on when you are, but potentially where you are. As you
Oh, hey, girl.
I'm like, I haven't met you yet or something. Anyway, no. As you stick your head out, you do look around the area for a moment, kind of taking it in. Upon doing this, why don't you give me a spirit check?
All right. I was born to waste these.
Of course.
That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
The 16. As you stick your head out and look around, trying to find any sort of landmarks, unfortunately, you don't really know much things about the desert to be able to see anything. You find that there are some mountainous areas behind where your head is. You find that there is sand all below. You find that it is hot. You don't really like it. It's uncomfortable. However, as you are looking around, what do we have here?
Where?
Hello, Zora.
I'm looking around.
You see no one.
Hi, ghost person.
It is good to see you. I have not seen someone like you in quite some time. Especially with an absence of a body connected to you.
Does this voice sound familiar? Does it sound
Nope.
like... Oh. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Should you not give your name first?
Oh, that's right. That's rude of me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm Ronan.
Ronan. I am Shao.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Where are you?
You're in me.
What?
You're in me.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Birds and lizards and such jump inside me all the time.
Wait, so you're the lake?
And I like to think of myself as an oasis, but yes.
Oh, okay. I've never been here before, so I didn't know the word.
Oh,
but,
no problem at all.
You
do remember whenever Revo was talking to all of you guys, they had mentioned that they had Galen training in a mystical lake.
Oh, hold on. I think I might. Have you ever seen a red-haired boy come here and be tortured by his grandma before?
Red-haired boy? No, I can't say that I have.
Oh, maybe that was a different magic oasis.
That would be shocking. There is not many water spirits or gods or goddesses about this place.
Well, maybe well, that's weird. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. There might be a red-haired boy coming here to get dunked by his grandma to learn magic or something.
Well, I'm sure that will be quite a sight. Most likely I will not be here to see it.
What was that?
There is no reason to worry on that. What about you? Why are you just ahead?
Oh, because I poked my head through a space hole. But maybe in the future for you, I don't know.
Oh.
So yeah, I ended up here, but just my head because I just poked my head in.
Interesting. I've never heard of any such thing, so this is very interesting.
Yeah, Ivori likes to call it the Expanse, but it's like it's a hole.
Ivori? I know that name.
Oh, okay.
That's
Small world.
interesting. Oh, not that small. They were a rather big thorn in the side of a lot of us for quite a while.
A lot of magical oases.
Oh,
Oasi?
gods. Sorry.
Oh, God. Oh, you're a god.
Used to be. I
Oh.
find myself to be a bit of more of a, well, I suppose a fallen would be something that would be best akin to what I am. I used to be a
Oh.
god of a great river, you see.
Oh.
But
Okay.
mostly that river has long been taken away. Oddly enough,
I'm
by
sorry.
a relative of Ivori.
Oh, who's who?
A great river once made their way through the sands a quite long time ago. My people had obviously brought themselves around such a river to get sustenance and things of that nature. However, long ago at this point, I suppose, back whenever I still had any sort of followers or worshippers, there was a meteoric cataclysm that came from the sky by a dragon known as Volcircuit. It had
Oh, I know him.
it had wiped quite a lot of vegetation, water, any sort of life in the desert away from itself.
Oh, he did that? Oh.
From what I understand of it, he was told to do such a thing, but yes, he, as one of the 4 great demon generals, had attacked a populace, the people that had once called this place home. And as such, I have had my power be waning for quite a long time now. Depending on how far in the future you are from, if you are indeed from the future, I will most likely not live to see it.
Oh. Well, I mean, why is that? Are you, like, sick or something?
Well, there is no entrance to this place, nor exit. This oasis of mine, it is slowly being eroded into the sands. Slowly and surely it will most likely become too small to keep such a presence as myself abound. I can tell by
sorry.
looking to you, Ronan, you are very strange for one of your race that I know, which most likely means you are far off in the future for me. You are much more impressive looking, at least from what I can see with your large frame, I'm assuming from the size of your head.
I mean, yeah, I'm a little on the bigger side. You should see Rog. He's way bigger than me.
Wonderful.
But
I enjoy that. I always had a soft spot for the Zora. They were not of my being, but whenever they were created, I sort of saw them as, how do I put it? Like nieces or nephews of mine. They were created from obviously the grace of the 3 goddesses, but once they had made their way away, it almost appears as if all other creatures left in their wake were abandoned, and the rest of us were meant to either size them up and claim them as our own, or treat them in some ways. When it came to the people who brought themselves around my river, I thought that they would be mine, but they are gone. And when it came to my nieces and nephews, that I like to call the Zora, they did not make their way out here. Their bodies were far too frail to make their way into the heat as we are now. Yours seems a lot stronger. I'm very happy to see that you all grow up to be very strong.
Well, everyone's different, I suppose. Um, You so sorry to go back to kind of a gloomy topic. You said that this is where if this disappears, then you disappear?
Well, not only if it disappears, it has to become smaller. It is very small as it already is, and it most likely will stay around this size for quite a long time. But if it does get very much smaller, maybe even by another yard or so, it will most likely become too small to be able to sustain my presence for long.
Hmm.
I don't
Is
mean
there
to
any way
be
I could help?
gloomy. Help?
I mean, my friend Polo, oh man, what was the one? What was the one she met? It was the sun one. The sun god.
Oh, the sun god. There are many. There were a lot of great spirits and gods and goddesses left behind after the golden goddesses have left this place. Whether they left or they became scattered amongst or whatever had happened. There are many who could call themselves a sun god, though.
Which was the name what was the name of the one that she had in her head? Did she ever-
Yeah,
Zolaire?
Zolaire? Does that sound familiar to you?
Hmm.
It maybe it won't, but
Sounds somewhat familiar, yes, actually.
well, she put him in her head or something like that. I was like, I don't know. Is there any way I could plop you out of here and put you in a bigger body of water in the future or something?
You are rather kind to bring something like that up. There are problems with such a thing, you know. Depending on things such as people out there who would be around you, or even demons who are about who could sense such things, you would be rather inconvenienced by having something like that with you. Not to mention, as I mentioned, do require a rather large amount of sustenance to stay alive. I do
mean,
not wish
water?
to put any sort of problematic things upon you, nephew.
Huh. All right. Well, so what do you mean?
I would require spiritual power. If you were to find a body of water, it would have to be one that could hold me, that is not already holding any sort of large spirits or spiritual powers. Ones that could be isolated enough that I would be able to thrive, but not encroach on others. It might be hard.
I mean, if I can help, I'd like to. Don't want to just disappear like that. That's not okay.
No matter what you would choose, even just having this conversation is nice. I must admit, it does sound nice to have. I mean, the idea that I might be able to move forward, but I do not wish to do it at the expense of another. I will leave it up to you.
What's the worst that could happen?
If there is something out there that senses my power within you, they could try to take it, at which point it would put you in danger. If you are not able to sustain me yourself, it may be difficult on your body. I would try to do as much as I could to help you out with that, but there isn't many boons that I could possibly do to aid in that specific scenario. It is up to you. If you would like to try, I advise against it because it is difficult, but If you find that that difficulty is not a problem, then I will trust you.
I feel like I've dealt with more difficult things than that before. We should tell you about the time that we broke time and space to save our friend Domran.
You are interesting. Your name was Ronan again? That was it?
Yeah.
Well, Ronan, if you truly wish to, then I hope that I'm not a burden to you and that our time together is pleasant.
Same.
Ronan, if you wish to do this,
Hmm.
you will need to first off roll me for your spirit.
All right. Well, it's a new day.
It is a new day. Let me get you guys your points. That is true. That is true.
Is this? Would you classify this as dangerous?
They did tell you that it would be potentially dangerous if you didn't have the correct things to sustain
Cool.
them. So
I will use
So,
a
like-
hero point.
What the fuck?
I did not expect anything like this when I did this shit.
It's on
I
the
just thought I was
it's on
gonna
the
see a
table.
neat place.
It's on the table, and you already got the one that was in this one spot. So I just moved it up. The one from the low one was whenever the thing happened. I believe with Marco was the low one. And then this one happened again. I'm like, all right, I'll just pump that up. No, the one with the low one was one that Ivori got, because Ivori got the lava.
Oh, I see. All right, so I'm using 2 goddess points and a hero point.
You also have 2 fleetings.
Oh, hell yeah!
Of course you do.
I'll
What is it with you and like God stuff? You're essentially
I don't
like, the
fucking know,
of
man.
God. Like what the fuck?
So I roll 4 more times.
Yep. Ooh,
Oh, so fucking close. That's
19's
really,
pretty
really
good.
good.
One more time?
And then 1 more.
2 more times, actually, because you got another fleeting.
Oh, okay.
Last time.
Okay, so 19.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and then this, 28, 29, 30. You got a 30.
30.
As you,
I guess I'll take that.
I guess I'll take that. It seems like it's all right. I
Fucking
suppose.
30.
As you speak this way, as you talk with the creature around you, you find that the small frame that you currently have seems to be filled with this kind of energy. It almost gives you a bit of a headache because they can't follow you into the next place. All of this spiritual energy is kind of like coalescing in your head right now.
Whoa.
It kind of can't go into the rest of your body until you go into the rest of your body. So as all of this sort of builds up around you, you sort of stumble back and then fall behind as you stumble back into the world of the living here. As you do, for a moment, you get a glimpse before the spiritual energy sort of like separates into the rest of you. You get a glimpse of your arm as you fall back and you bring your hand up to your head to hold it. As you see for a second, the black scales on your body seem to almost shimmer a rainbowish sheen for a moment.
Whoa.
As that happens, it's like, Ronan, are you all right?
Hey, I'm okay. How's, hey, what's up?
You shouldn't put
Is
your head in that
everything
thing that long.
Sorry about that. I was having a conversation.
I had to keep talking. With Radon. She was thinking we should push you in.
Oh.
I told them it would be
Well.
bad because I didn't know whether or not you would be able to come back, and they said boo.
I'm glad that you told her that.
I mean,
That
every time I
wouldn't have
see
probably been good for me.
every time I see one of you stick your head in that thing, I always think it, but I'll never say it.
I mean, I can understand.
It's
I guess
one swift kick.
I'm glad that you have such restraint.
You're okay?
Yeah. So I
So
made a
this
new
is your
friend while
world.
I was in there. Yeah. but so I made a new friend while I was there.
Again?
I like
Is
people.
it another roly-poly dinosaur thing?
It's not. It's an ex-god, I guess would be the most appropriate term. My head popped out of the lake of an oasis, rather, in the desert, and I heard a voice coming from nowhere, and they said that they were the oasis, and that they were gonna die soon, because the oasis was getting smaller. So I was like, well, I mean, Polo helped that one sun god by, like, taking him into her head.
We can't just keep fostering dead gods inside of us, Ronan.
Listen. She seemed cool. She seemed nice, and I didn't want her to just die like that because that's sad.
I appreciate that.
So I told her that I'd find her a bigger body of water in what is probably the future for her.
Well, you are a bigger body of water, I suppose.
No.
Does she just need anything of water? Can we drop her off over in the domain or something?
I mean, that's where I was thinking. Like in the big lake there, maybe, or something like that.
I mean, you would wanted to bring that witch over there at some point as well, anyway.
That's true. So, get two fish with one stone.
Well, if you have something like that with you, I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine. I can watch over Radon while that's going on. Unless you want to do it a little bit later. I know that you have plans.
What time would now
it's still relatively early. It's still relatively early morning. You do know that the castle does open rather early, though.
I suppose I could knock that out before we all go to interrogate the guy in the dungeon. If you want to look after Radon, that's yeah.
Yeah, it seems fine with me. I was actually going to go over and start feeding the Dodongo.
Oh, thank you. I could have done that. That's fine.
I know you could have done that, but I can do it too.
Okay. Well, thank you. Gives her a little kiss, and then we'll I guess head off to find what's his name.
They're just over there. As you encircle the expanse a bit, you walk up over toward where Forrest and Cality are, as they seem to be looking off toward the expanse. And upon you coming back, Forrest gives you a bit of a clap as you're showing up. Wonderful, wonderful. I had heard from the others before that you all had begun sticking body parts inside of there, but I'm going to be honest, I assumed it was something different.
Never mind.
When it comes to those around here, I try not to think anything is beyond their reach. I was thinking they might have been throwing stalls or something in there.
Oh, I see. No.
But I'm very glad that you were able to make your way out. That's very interesting. As much as I don't really care for that expanse thing, it is extremely interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just was real curious, so I just came back to try it one more time. And some crazy stuff happens when you put your head in that thing, I've realized.
My interests lie in more earthly ties. I had heard that the expanse there had came from the stars, and immediately I saw that everyone in their unhealthy interest toward it was a little bit much for me. So I've just been mostly keeping myself out of it. But it is rather interesting, I suppose.
Oh yeah, big time. So you said you wanted to go to Domain, right?
Yes, if now is a good time.
Yeah, sure. We're kind of killing time a little bit before everyone kind of groups up, and
you had told me that you have a way of getting there near instantly, and I am extremely interested in that.
Oh yeah, thanks to that their Sage of Creation. And begin leading the way.
You make your way off with them, as you have mentioned the Sage of Creation. What exactly do you know about them? I have not heard much of them in quite a long time.
I know that he tried to cast a nasty spell on someone, and it ended up hurting our friend instead.
Oh.
So that's not very cool.
Yeah, none of the witches here have a great love for that person, from what I understand. Apparently, even if they haven't incredibly seen him do much, they have heard of several deep exploits from them.
Yeah,
The more
as
and
useful
more
as
I
his
think-
house is.
The more and more I think on him, the more and more he starts sounding like someone else that I know.
Yeah.
We all have a dark wizard amongst us, if you've been in the game as long as I have. I've known another sage who was quite, intuitive with his way of expanding his own creation, his own knowledge. But I never had a wonderful time in his presence, and I recommend other people not as well.
Well, you said this person's was who? Their name was what?
Oh, I did not mention their name. I actually don't even know it. I do know of their
Oh.
title, though. It is the Sage of Dark Magic.
Oh,
You've heard of them. They're
is
rather,
that name?
they're,
that
they're
name
rather
sounds-
secretive.
That name is very familiar, right? It's the
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that
you
called
know,
himself.
it's Gorthos' dad, Damati.
It's the dude with the weird bone haircut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's demise.
We met him once.
They
He
are
is
usually
not
rather
a
secretive.
good dude.
No, I do not believe so either. They had some dark magics under them. And again, they were always so transfixed on learning something more or gaining something more that I could not stay in their presence for long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry that you've
Hmm.
had run-ins with dark wizards.
It's I'm kind of used to it at this point, if I'm being honest. It's just kind of what we do around here.
There are other dark beings out there that I would recommend staying away from as well. Perhaps you would know of the man Aghanim?
That name sounds familiar. Why does it sound familiar?
He is a rather large piece of work. If it sounds familiar to you, then I'm very sorry for you. You would know that would be the Sage of Life.
Oh, right.
Although
that
he
jerk.
did not say Sage of Life. He said Aghanim.
Right. Yeah. No. I know about him. He's been going around doing nasty, hypnotizing stuff to people in different places, and that's not cool either.
Hypnotizing stuff.
Yep. He brainwashed all of Castletown, or most of it.
I hadn't heard his name in quite a long time until very recently, whenever I had tried to make my way into Castletown. But there were apparently issues with a person there who was going by Slaverman. Whenever I felt him, I definitely felt the pulls of the mage Aghanim.
Yeah. He had something to do with all that business.
It's a shame. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. Luckily, it seems you've already seen most of at least the ones I'd have to step out of my way to talk about in the current age. Though I would never count either of them as someone from the current age.
Yeah. That's fair. It's we'll deal with them whenever we can get to them, I
You're
guess.
planning on dealing with them.
I mean, he Aghanim, Sage of Life, whichever title he wants to be called. Heckin',
Sage of
he
Life.
kidnapped someone. He kidnapped someone from Gorthos's mansion. So that's not. We got to go get her.
Oh, if it's something like that, perhaps I could aid you.
Oh yeah.
As I mentioned, I am very familiar with Aghanim's brand of magic, the feel that it gives off. I was able to sense it quickly whenever I was making my way to Castletown, and because of that, I did not make my way to Castletown. If it were anything like that, I could potentially try to find some sort of source of that person.
Well, that'd be good. We know they're up north somewhere, or at least that's the last time we looked. But that was a bit ago, so...
You're able to follow them with that Kokiri that came in, the one that apparently can see far beyond his own reach.
Yeah, we never got a specific thing, did we, Deco? Like,
you know
where
that
he was exactly.
You know that he is somewhere in the base of Death Mountain, as far as you know. But you had not got anything specific. No, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, we know roughly where he is, but like, if you could help us find like a specific place to go, that'd be great.
Well, whenever we return, I can see what I can do. Perhaps I can bring something over toward that Kokiri friend of yours and maybe aid them in that. I know that they are planning on looking for something different right now.
But yeah, no, thank you so much for that. That'd be great.
No problem. Again, I sort of started regretting even coming to this little gathering of here. But whenever all of you showed up, things have gotten a lot more lively.
Well, I'm glad we could liven things up a little bit.
I'm meaning no disrespect. I'm sorry.
No. I didn't think you did.
Oh, okay. I worry sometimes. I'm not. I'm not the most. I guess knowledgeable about people that I'm staying around.
That's fine. You gotta worry. We all got our own things, our own weaknesses and such, and he will lead the way to the door.
As you step in, you allow them inside to use the house, correct?
Yep.
As you do such, both of you disappear from the area here, and you all appear outside of your house over in the Zora domain.
Yeah.
As you do such, he looks around back and forth as he, for a moment, seems a little bit starstruck. Huh. Well, you were not kidding. That was instantaneous.
Yeah, distance kind of doesn't mean much to us anymore.
I can see that. You see him sort of wobble for a second as he steps out onto the silver areas around. As he does, roll me for your magic real quick.
Oh, is he having a rough time because he's a heckin' magey boy?
Yeah, these fucking silver stuffs.
That's a 19 or 20 rather.
You find as you make your way over to him, it does look as if for a moment he seems to give off a different feel to him for a bit, as he seems to immediately look as if he's about to fall over. You do grab him, you make sure that he is not going down, but you can definitely tell whatever the magic is around him seemed to have been almost immediately dispersed from him because of the lands around him. As he shakes his head, I did not expect that. I knew that these waters in this land had anti-magic properties, but I guess that actually does show that this is where we are, huh?
Sorry, I forgot to kind of, mention that.
No problem. I just have to be
I
more.
don't think about it.
I just have to be more knowledgeable of it, is all.
So, once he feels like he's got the ability to stand on his own and he's kind of right in his way, Ronan will is there anywhere in particular you wanted to see, or?
I will be making my way just outside of the domain. I had heard that the goddess's lake was extremely beautiful, as well as, again, the waters around this place in particular have some very strong anti-magic properties that I was hoping to study a little while, if at all possible.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Do I need you to make my way back, or because I do not wish to impose?
How long? I mean, are you gonna stay here for like a few hours? You think?
I was hoping for at least an hour or so, if possible. If anything, I could bring back some water and study it there.
That might be probably for the best.
Of course. He
But
seems
yeah,
to reach
he'll,
into his pocket and pull out, from what you can tell, to be a magic bottle.
Cool.
Then, if
All
you would
right,
not
then.
mind, please lead the way down toward the water, and I will take a small sample.
All right, cool. He will lead. He will do so. He will lead into the main gate.
As you make your way to the gate, you will hear from inside. The waters around here, as you can probably already tell, are most likely not the best for me. Though, it is rather grand what you have done with the place.
Oh, is it not as big in your time or something? Or
No, I was more meaning the artistry that is around here.
oh, okay. Yeah.
There is nothing like this where I was from. Well, maybe there was eventually. I don't know. I was trapped in an oasis for a long time.
So are there like spirits here, and that's why it won't work?
I suppose I do feel the presence of a rather strong spirit about, but it is more the composition of the water, I believe, that would be hard for me. First, the water is rather large, so I fear that I might lose myself in it. But other than
I
that,
see.
the properties of it in general, with the silver all off and about, is a little bit hostile.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
Making a note.
It would be.
No, that's
it
fine.
would have been great if we would have found it immediately.
We know some other sources of water. I'm sure we can find something that'll work.
Also, whenever you were making your way through that gate of yours, from one side of the world to another, is that how you came to me, or is that a different thing? I'm
No,
finding it
that
hard
big,
understanding everything.
that big like black hole with stars and stuff in it. That was what I stuck my head in.
I see.
Yeah.
Very confusing then.
I find it's best to just accept it as it is, not try to understand it. That's how I get by.
Well, I am a little bit the opposite, so if you don't mind, I will think on it for a little while I am waiting here.
That's whatever works for you.
Perhaps this symbiotic relationship will be, I think on things for you, perhaps.
You know, that maybe that'd be good.
I am feeling a little bit wiped out a little though, so I will most likely fade off for a while unless you need me.
That's fine. You can take a breather.
Be careful.
Okie doke.
The voice fades as you get down toward where the water would be. You see that Forrest reaches down and fills the magic bottle with some water. It seems to fill up a little bit slower than you would think it's a thing of its size would. But again, you know magic bottles, you know, they fucking carry or magic and bullshit. As he brings it up, there is a slight shimmer to the water, you know, because there is silver all throughout the water itself. As he brings it up. Fascinating. I wish that I could take a little bit more back, but this should do for any sort of study.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's perfectly fine. I know that you are very busy. I'll try to see if I can think on anything else that might aid you in the coming hours. Perhaps trying to look for Aghanim's signals or anything of that. If I can think of anything in particular, I'll let you know. But I will admit I'll most likely have my thoughts preoccupied. You've seen how we can get whenever we find something we are truly interested in.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Are you similar? I can sense the...
No, I don't relate. I just understand.
I can sense the starts of a magician about you.
Well, I mean, I guess I do relate now that you mention it. But a little. Oprah taught me a few things that she knew, and it was more of a bonding experience than a practicality thing for me. But I do enjoy the things that it allows.
I see. Well then, shall we return?
Yeah.
You guys pack up, start to make your way back over. It takes you a little bit longer to get up than it does to go down because of just the way this thing is organized. But as you get up and make your way through the area, you would find that going back to WitchCon is not very difficult. You just bring him directly back, and then you want to make your way toward Castletown, correct?
Yep.
Let me get you guys over here. Upon you stepping back at WitchCon, you do find that Obra is off a little bit of the ways, feeding Dawn. You find that Radon is over with them as they're doing such things, and Magic Frog is just chilling over by where the large indent in the side of the walls are, just kind of squishing his way in and just being able to be like, I fits, so I sits.
Yay.
As you step out and then step back in to go to Castletown, Ronan.
Yeah.
As soon as you find your way into Castletown, let me do a thing.
My head explodes.
Well, your head doesn't explode. But you do find, whenever you go there, I'm guessing you would be making your way to the main floor of the house, correct?
Yeah.
There you are. You're just so tiny if I'm all the way back here. You make your way in, and as you do, immediately you find that your vision seems to darken. As your vision darkens upon stepping into Castletown, roll me for spirit.
Brr. Brr. I don't want to be blind my entire stay at Castletown.
Don't worry, you're not going to be blind. Why would you be blind?
That's 15 for that, and then 18 for my spirit.
18 altogether?
Total. Yep.
You stand in the center of this place. You feel that your eyes darken and you feel very heavy. You slam your foot forward to try to stop yourself from falling over, but it doesn't help. As you do step forward and you do keep yourself up, there is a loud sound that you do let out from doing so, but almost immediately you feel yourself sort of rocket back and forth for a moment before falling over onto the ground. As you do, you think back and you seem to feel as if you were back with Obra. Back at the secret little spot that you and Obra would go to for a while. You find upon your memory going to this place that you look in on all of the very nice little treasured moments that you had, as well as all the moments where you saw them use magic, not only on the things around you, but on the walls and on the things off and about. And you find that as you're seeing these things play in front of you, you remember that, oh yeah, this is around the time that I started really getting it. This is around the time
fuck.
You started getting that illusionary touch to you for certain things, that time that you started getting that mending touch to you, that sort of stuff about you. As you start thinking that, though, you do hear, thanks to that spirit check, Ronan, I only stopped for a moment. Are you all right?
Something's happening to me.
Ronan?
He's gonna try. Yeah.
Wake up! Wake up right now!
I'm trying.
You feel a bit of pain. I'm gonna roll an attack against you really quick.
Is she attacking my mind?
Honestly, shouldn't hit you, but we're gonna ignore it for a second.
Oh, I'm letting myself be hit.
You're only gonna take 2 damage, so this is gonna be a difficult check. I need you to roll me for your resistance.
Oh, is this not a good hit? Okay, then I wouldn't let myself get hit.
Oh no, I need you to roll for this. Was a good hit. This is a pretty good hit. This is okay. Don't worry about it. Just roll me resistance.
All right. 13.
13 altogether.
I have no idea if that's good or bad in this scenario.
I'm gonna roll one more. That's another 2. That's 3 altogether. Ronan, you are gonna take 5 damage altogether.
Oof.
This is something that seems to happen out of nowhere, just spontaneously. But as soon as you hear "wake up" from that voice in your head, and you feel that pain, you feel something cause you pain enough that you find yourself on the floor, your arms in front of you, sort of heaving downward as you woke up before all of these memories seem to be finished in you. You wake up and you feel almost immediately exhausted, breathing heavily. Gorthos and Marco, you guys would have heard a falling in the other room and a crashing sound.
The fuck? He immediately gets up and...
Gorthos and Marco, you find a Ronin laying onto the ground, his arms outstretched, seemingly gasping for air.
What happened? Ronan, are you all right?
Ronan?
I just
And
got here.
Marco immediately looks around to see if there's anybody else in the room. Like,
Yeah, honestly, same. With all the strength he can muster, he's trying to like look around and see if anyone did this to him.
You look around the area. Nothing immediately is coming to your vision. You hear a dog, though, because fucking dog. 1 second.
It's Orion. He's going crazy. He heard a noise and he's going nuts.
As you look around, Orion is barking his head out, trying to figure out what's going on. Polo, you would have heard a crashing sound from downstairs.
Oh.
As you hear such a thing, you would note that you and Gallum would have been laying here for a good 15 or 20 minutes at this point, and looking over at Gallon, he does appear to have his eyes shut and laying upon the pillow. He still seems to be holding on to you, however. Do you want to do anything?
That's the thing of like she almost tries to jump off and then it's like tug and it's like, oh shit. There's a thing of if he's asleep, that's mission successful. Now it's trying to get out and not wake him.
Mission.
You
look, is it the consequences of my own actions?
You attempt to wrench yourself out of the way. We'll do a roll for it. Why don't you give me a finesse check?
She will call for Orion in like her head. She'll do a head call for Orion. Get the puppers here.
Orion is barking and then hears this and then goes, "Oh fuck off, Ronan," and then runs up the stairs.
Don't fucking die, Ronan.
He just does that dog thing where it's like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr," and then it's like, Orion! Oh, it completely shuts up and then it's like, I'm being called.
Roll me that finesse check.
Yes, finesse. This is like when a cat falls asleep on your lap and you've got to go pee. This is like, no, I mustn't wake him. I can never forgive myself.
You get up, you find that you get up incredibly well. You get up so fucking good. You look back for a moment. As you do, you see that he still seems to be laying on the pillow, arm outstretched, but he's fine. You did it.
Was it like a DC 2?
I'm still waiting for Orion.
Scratch.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Open the door.
You see Orion.
The point is, stay with him. Stay with him.
You make your way
Orion
out,
guard.
and as you do, you shut the door behind. As you go to check on what just happened, back in the room, Gallon just opens his eyes, looks to Orion. Cuddles Orion.
As long as lay there, just blep, and just is like, this is my life.
You
The
look
best
down.
substitution
You look
jutsu.
down into the area where the others are at, because that's what this little balcony area is. As you see Ronan on the ground.
Ronan?
At which point I'm guessing you running down.
Yeah.
Ronan just
Ronan-
picks Ronan up, just
Yeah,
like,
he will be standing up.
Ronan, you are
What
rather
happened to
wobbly getting up. You still feel like there's some kind of sleep or numbness about you for a moment, but you are able to get up whenever Gorthos aids you.
I just was. I think what happened to Aga and Matilda just almost happened to me. Almost. I don't think
So
it worked.
What?
But we're in our house. Isn't this place like protected and stuff?
What were you doing?
I just got here. I walked in through the magic door from the domain, and and then it happened.
Does that mean the guy that they have in the castle isn't the person doing it? Or does it mean he's still doing it in the dungeon that's supposed to be anti-magic?
Or there's more than one person doing it.
Are you all right? Is anything broken?
Nothing's broken. I'm feeling a little bit woozy, but I think I'm okay for the most part. I think I'll be fine in a few minutes.
Can you explain what the sensation was? What happened?
I mean, it's basically just like what we heard before, where I remembered my time with Obra during that month we took off, and she was teaching me stuff. The moment that it finally clicked how to do magic stuff is, in particular, what I remember.
So it got those memories?
I feel like it almost had them, but
Almost had them.
I don't know. I got some.
What's the name of the god in my head again? Adiko?
Sorry, my mother was asking me something. What was the question?
I was asking, what's the name of the god in my head again?
It was Soha or Saha.
Soha?
Yeah, Soha.
Saha.
Saha.
Soho.
Saha.
Saho? That was one of those, man.
Saha.
Fiji.
Let's,
Well, no,
let's
it
lock that in.
was like Saha'a or something like that.
Saha'a.
There was
Saha'a.
definitely a break and then continuation of the of the vowel.
Well, because they are kind of the reason that a bunch of
S-A''HA. Let's lock it in.
Fiji.
It was kind of the same reason why a lot of Gerudo names are similar to what they are. I named them as if I named a Gerudo person. Don't worry about it. Anyway, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I had some help waking up from Saha, the lady in my head. Also, there's a lady in my head, by the way.
There's a lady in your head named Saha.
Yes.
Barrett's gonna be so jealous of that, but
I mean, she seemed pretty cool with it. I already told her about it.
all right, good.
By the way, you have not heard from Saha ever since you heard that in your head before.
Are you still there, Saha? You okay?
No answer.
Does that name sound familiar?
For you, no.
Tell us a little bit about this lady in your head. How did you get a lady in your head?
Oh, well, while we were kind of waiting for everyone to wake up and get together, I thought, I'm going to poke my head in the expanse again. So I did.
There's a twitch in her eye. There's a slight twitch in her eye. God, Paulo hates this expanse.
We are not telling Gallon.
She told Gallon all about it because he can't go stick his head in it.
Yet.
She's like, I'm gonna tell you all about this thing you can't do anything with right now. Go to bed, motherfucker.
Gorthos had a rupee for every time a god crawled into someone's head. They have at least 3 rupees he knows of, which is not a lot of rupees, but still
crazy that
distressingly weird. It happened 3 times.
But yeah, so I poked my head through. I popped up in the desert, actually, in a little oasis. I think I was in the pass, probably.
It was Sahao, by the way. Yes, you were correct. You were correct, Squeaky.
Okay.
But yeah, so, and then I heard a voice out of nowhere, and she basically said that she's a former god, and she was dying because the oasis was shrinking, so I agreed to get her to a new body of water.
If Gorthos did, if Gorthos was told any more of this, it would be a really funny thing of there was once a vision that Gorthos had where Volcircuit fucking pile drive the desert. And so he'd be like,
Oh, this is awkward.
Remember,
Oh,
because there was that thing that you had of
Yeah, I
like what a
remember.
waste.
Yes. The back when Thorog was still around. That's
Yeah.
fun. It's still in the Oasis. Fun. Think you'd hear about that kind of thing.
You guys remember being told just yesterday, apparently, that the oasis that Gallum was in was apparently some kind of mystical oasis.
Fascinating.
Otherwise known as 2 games ago, so like a month or 2 ago. Anyway.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's in my head now, kind of like your sun person in your head.
Do you think they can communicate?
Would that
I
be
don't know.
Would that be similar to being a prophet?
Great.
I don't know,
Well,
but she's not talking. She's not responding right now.
When it came
Which is a little
to
concerning.
the just out of game, when it came to the deal that Polo made, it was very different than the deal that Ronan just made. Ronan's
yeah,
like, I'm gonna let you stay with me and I'm gonna put you somewhere. Polo's like, I'm gonna let you stay with me so you don't die, and maybe one day you can leave if you feel better.
Yeah.
So
But
that's why Polo's
in
a
the way
prophet,
that they're
whereas,
both.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In the way that they're both inhabited by a deity.
Yeah, there may be some overlap, but Polo is actually getting a lot more from theirs than Ronan is from theirs. Though,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Okay.
Ronan just got something pretty good from theirs.
It's true.
That was
He did in
that
fact
was
resist the magic.
that was set to just happen to you today. So getting that
Yes.
beforehand is very funny to me.
wow. Well, we must thank her properly whenever she does come back around, perhaps.
Maybe she used quite a little bit of her remaining power to transfer
was-
herself into you.
She was feeling pretty wiped, she said. So maybe just doing that took the rest out of her.
It is a similar occurrence with Master Zolaire when he and I made a bond. He was quiet for quite the bit. So
All right.
maybe she is unharmed, but that still does not explain what sort of thing attacked you, and you were not asleep during it, were you?
No, I was wide awake.
Yes, it only seems to happen when the mage in question is asleep.
If you remember the thing with Matilda, they were being put to sleep for it to happen. They were awake and then they were falling asleep. That seems more like what just happened to Ronan.
Oh, okay. So that's what they were trying to do to get me to fall asleep, but I didn't,
Oh.
or at least not for very long.
Because again,
And if it
Matilda was
happened-
coming out of the thing, and they were wide awake, and then all of a sudden, blah!
Yeah.
And if you said it happened here at home, then that could not bode well. Especially for
it's-
Mrs. Auger's worries.
I think it might be time for us to go talk to this person in the dungeon.
Yes, quite so.
Are we ready to do that now? Or we got other stuff to take care of first?
You can't think of
I'm
much
also-
else that could take precedence. Consider.
Yeah, so
Considering it just happened to you.
Yeah, so just to make sure, because Deco has a couple times said that we have a lot to do today.
This is still very early morning.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay, yeah,
when it
all
comes
right.
to the castle, they open their things right before daylight breaks. Is whenever the drawbridge lowers for the castle. So the castle's
Alrighty.
been open for about, we'll say, like an hour at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to give you guys a rough time frame, you guys are around like 9 a.m. at this point.
Okay. I do not see any objections for us to not go.
All right then.
We could also call this arc a very long day, because today might be a very long day.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Newcastle Town
this.
Park 2.0 would just be one singular fucking day.
I don't expect you guys to spend all the time in Castletown.
I know. I'm just memeing. Trust me, Deco. I'm memeing. Unless. Well, JK. Unless.
Do the four of you want to make your way toward the castle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's someone who has a lot of talking to do.
As you start to bring yourselves to the castle, I am going to move a temple out of the way so I can fucking put the castle down, because that castle's fucking big. There you are, castle. Get out of here. That isn't the castle. That was grabbing something different. There's the castle. Perfect. As you guys would make your way through Castletown, you guys would be met with the same early morning hustle and bustle that Castletown would normally have. People calling out to you like, "Oh, champions, how you doing? Oh man, I'm so happy that you're around us. Oh god,
Where's Gallon?
where's Gallon?" They love
Fucking
Gallon
Christ.
here. They fucking love
They
Gallon.
really
in
love
Castletown.
Gallon. I imagine that while he's been here, he's probably done like more shit for people around town, but we're all fucking off doing
Gallon saved
adventure
my husband
stuff.
from a tree.
He's only gotten even more popular. Not just the guards like him, the general citizens love him now.
You guys find your way over toward the drawbridge. You guys have met with a couple of the people upon getting here. Upon going into the area, you guys would see guards and other such things. Things are pretty lax around the castle right now, because you know no one's trying to murder anyone here, and the king's actually feeling somewhat better. Things are going okay. Things are going pretty well. As you guys come into the area, you guys would take note from them that they say the king is still in bed. The king is still currently there, so any sort of audience with him will have to wait for at least another hour while he gets ready to take on any sort of guests or visitors. However, you guys tell them what you guys want is mostly just to see your ways down into the dungeons, at which point they see no reason not to, especially, you know, your champions. You guys are allowed those kind of concessions. As you guys would find your ways down into the areas below, you would find that the actual areas of this place are sort of strange in the dungeons right now. The last time you guys remember coming down here, at least the last time Polo remembers coming down here, was whenever the dungeons themselves were holding onto the Bishop of War. Gorthos, you are literally having to like crawl at this point in this body.
He forgets how often he has to live in a small world.
You are literally having to like sort of crawl your way through the area. As you go through, the last time you were here, it seemed to be the like very much dead in this area. However, stepping into here, you find that one of the walls of the cells have been destroyed. That seems to connect two cells together, which is very odd until you then look inside of the cell and see, laying on a bed.
Ah, I see. He just wanted a bigger room.
It's probably how he broke out the first time.
You see a familiar face down on the bedding down
Whoa.
below. Yeah, I know, I saw it. I saw it. I'm changing it. Don't you worry.
You really
But,
wanted a bigger room.
This isn't the full room. This is the hallway you guys are in.
I'm still sad that we lost his actual name.
Yeah.
Like, you gave us his actual name, and it never occurred to me to write it down.
Yeah, and then all of my notes were destroyed, so he's just the Bishop of War now.
I'm sure it's somewhere in the VOD.
One of the sessions probably has it.
Squeaky, what's his name?
I got nothing, man. I gotta look up stars.
You gotta look up stars. This is
Look up
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, not that star. Not those stars.
This is DiCaprio.
When I call him Sirius.
DiCapo. No.
No,
I don't know, man. I'm gonna
we'll look up stars later.
Yeah.
Centauri.
But yes, as he is laying in his bed, you do find that he is looking over towards you upon hearing Gorthos crawling his way through the hallway. Good morning.
Mm,
Morning, Uncle.
Mm.
Bishop.
What
They
do you
don't
need?
make dungeons like they used to, do they?
Not at all. What do you need?
There
We're
seems to have
looking-
been. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You do it.
Okay, we're looking for a prisoner here that is recently thrown in for trying to attack the princess.
Oh, you don't need me. Yeah, I've already interrogated that guy. He's down there. He points down toward the end of the hall. He's not talking. He's not talking much, but he's talking a little bit less now.
What'd you get out of him? Anything at all?
It's difficult to say. He seems to sit up in the bed looking back at all of you. When it comes to his temperament, it's hard to tell if he's truthful or not with his confessions. I don't know exactly how I can tell, but I can tell that whatever he says is rehearsed. You're gonna have a hard time with him. If you get anything out of him, let me know. I've already threatened to kill him. I've already threatened to kill him 10 times.
Well, that's the problem, Bishop. You gotta be more creative than just death.
Oh,
That's
I
the
was.
least that.
I've interrogated him far more than 10 times.
Fascinating. Perhaps there is a way for us to fix this.
This place is still working how it's supposed to, right?
How it's supposed to? Oh, yeah. He motions over toward the wall. Yeah, this shouldn't do much. Whenever I got out, I just sort of busted my way out, but the actual area around here should still have the spells upon it. I didn't break anything important, except for the bars.
And
Yeah,
you
so
wouldn't have happened to have felt anything from his direction today?
From his direction?
Or from him in particular?
If there's any kind of magic, he didn't do it. That's for sure. I can barely cast magic down here.
Okay, just making sure.
Did something happen?
Yeah, a bunch of people are, getting attacked the same way. I just got attacked the same way. So,
You okay?
I'm doing better now. But it's definitely. We were gonna do this today anyway, and now there's just one more reason to.
He has a double wide.
There you go.
Of course he does.
The most concerning thing is that it happened in our own home, so we're not sure what to make of it.
Didn't you guys say that there's some kind of a ghost protection or something like that over yours?
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah, sure is.
Sure was.
I hope there still is.
Well,
I
let me
hope
know
so,
if there's let me know if there's anything I can do.
Will do.
We have some thoughts, but we must first interrogate that one.
Don't let him scream too much. I'm just now getting to sleep.
As if the screaming of one
Alrighty.
person would be something to disturb you of all people.
It's annoying, so yeah.
Young people these days, no patience.
It's like waves you off, like, get the fuck out of here.
I love that basically no matter who you're talking to, you get to say that.
Yes, I do. It's one of my favorite things.
As you guys make your way down the hall, you do find that upon going up to the final little ring of cells at the very end, it does seem to have a cell directly in front that seems to be more of an interrogation area, more of a holding cell than the others. There's no bedding, there's no anything inside of it. It seems to be just for again, trying to get answers out of people. You find, as you look inside, just what appears to be a regular looking human inside, standing as he is sitting at a table with a very worried, a very panicked look in his eyes. looking around at the walls and having a terrible time of it. It's a terrible place, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way over to it, you do find that if you need to, you can talk to him from here, or you can try to make your way inside. It is up to you.
There's no fucking way I'm getting in that room.
No, not at all.
Oh, because according to what you guys just saw, you're so much safer out here.
Listen, you.
Shut your fucking mouth out.
Don't need
buddy.
this
Shut your
fucking
whore
sass.
mouth. We don't need to hear any of your thoughts. But yeah, they're sitting at a table. They appear to be manacled and just sort of very twitchy.
Well met.
But excuse me. Hi. Are you here to let me go? Ah!
Maybe if you cooperate.
Cooperate, of course. I'm here to cooperate. I'm fully able to cooperate with you. I'll tell you everything I know, but I've already told you what I know.
You see this fucking skeleton grin come from the.
You're a
The
big
fucking
guy.
disturbed smile.
You're a big fella.
Yes. Who goes first then?
I'm just gonna sit right here. There's a bench here now. I decided.
Cool.
And
Visiting hours.
Fucking love that bench. It's such a good bench.
The fucking prison bench, the best bench. Anyway.
I'm gonna just for safety and curiosity's sake, I'm gonna play Concerto of Peace.
You begin to play Concerto of Peace. As
Trying
you
to
do,
calm him down so he's not as fucking the stammering mess that he is right now.
this is really funny. Go ahead and roll me, go ahead and roll me for your diligence when it comes to this.
Go,
Okay.
go.
It's actually very funny. You start off with this.
I'm gonna throw in a goddess point.
Do it.
That's on you. You
Do
can do
like
that.
put like 7 in there. Ooh.
That's that's the first roll.
It's
So
an 18 altogether.
yep.
18.
It's an
That's
18.
As you start to play the song and you start to feel its magics taking hold of the area inside, first off, it is very hard, you feel, to play this. Very difficult to sense any sort of magical presence from your song. However, as one that has recently gone up to up a class level of being an oracle, you definitely can use your at least this stuff here, and maybe not your regular magician stuff, but definitely this stuff here. As you do this, you note that there's not really any change. He still seems very, very sporadic, very erratic inside, very, very still twitchy and not calmed at all.
Okay, cool. Thought so.
Interesting.
May I ask why you are so erratic?
I've never been behind bars before. This is all a big mistake and a big misunderstanding. I'm innocent. I'm just very, very
How long
confused
have you
and
been
scared.
behind bars?
A couple of days at this point.
And
I need to
yet
get
you
home
have
to my
not been hurt-
family.
And yet you have not been hurt or tortured or even interrogated.
I have been. You know for a fact he's been interrogated. As well,
No.
he was told he was told you that he was interrogating him a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. No, you're right.
And being interrogated seems like par for the course, considering you attacking the princess.
I would never attack our princess.
That's good.
But you have not been tortured or harmed in any sort of way. In fact, the castle's dungeons are probably one of the safest places in all of Castletown.
The safest place would be at home in my bed with my wife.
Debatable.
Oh.
Debatable. Does that Kurt? Debatable.
You can also
Well.
stop pretending to be afraid, by the way. That's we can just drop all the pretense here.
What do you mean? I've shown nothing. No, any sort of showing of anything like that.
Listen,
I'm
the more
legitimately
honest you
scared.
are, the more open you are, the better your chances of getting out of here are going to be.
I don't understand.
Sir?
Yes.
You say you have been in this petrified state for the past 5 days.
A few days, yes. I'm maybe not exactly 5, but a few days at the least.
You do not smell of urine.
You haven't pissed yourself once in this place, you scared little cat. You lying bastard.
What? It's urine?
Someone who would have been in such a petrified state as you would have at some point lost control over their bodily functions. Even if just a little.
I am a gentleman, madam. I would never.
You will find that has nothing to do with it.
Fear is a hard thing.
When the body is petrified in fear, you lose control no matter how refined your upbringing or your or how you were raised.
Oh God, is this what I'm to look forward to? No!
I
must keep what little dignity that I have!
So, we're not gonna point out the magic song you played that should have calmed him down, or...
No, that
that's a thing.
What?
We know you're faking it, because if you weren't, you would be calm right now because of that song I just played.
You can't... I'm sorry to say, champions, but you cannot trick me like that. Magic does not work in this place.
It does for an oracle.
We're champions. Why would we not be able to use magic in this place? We're trusted champions of Hyrule.
Roll me, Marco. Why don't you give me a... Yeah, give me charm. Give me a charm check real quick.
Hell yeah, just 3 of these.
I just love this logic. We're the champions. I'm an oracle.
You haven't pissed yourself.
Logically speaking, fair. I take that as a reasonable fucking thing.
Also a fleeting Marco as well.
Holy Christ!
I needed it.
Any person scared to this man's point would have definitely pissed himself, if not a little.
3 again.
That's funny as hell.
Roll.
That was the
Come
funniest
on, man.
roll.
Come on.
6,
Jesus
7,
Christ.
8, 9, 10,
Can
11,
I give him
12,
goddess
13.
points?
I mean, he'd already rolled. So we're gonna go with the 13, which the 13 is still pretty good. Remember, like the rolls are they don't always have to be 19s and 20s and whatnot. But as you look at this man, and as he seems to be very much like looking back and forth, trying to find a way around. It's hard to find flaws of your logic, but I assure you have the wrong guy.
Then what is your alibi? Where were you at the time that the princess was attacked?
Trying to get into the place of worship, like all the others. There was many people there. There was a crowd of people there. How was I to know that Matilda would be there?
I feel like there would be more prisoners as well if...
Have you always been a religious man?
Entirely. I've always felt the connection to the goddess. I would never have any thoughts of harming anyone that has even the tracest amounts of holy blood inside of them.
And do you have anyone that can speak for your piety?
None that I would wish to bring into this dreadful place, I'm sure.
Do we want to go ask Zelda if she's ever heard this guy's prayers before?
Northos could go and ask the goddess, yes.
What?
Oh, yes, the goddess Zelda. You can simply
know
ask her.
of the goddess's name.
Yes.
Do you know who Gorthos is?
Gorthos.
He pulls the hood down.
As he looks to Gorthos, he looks to all of you. Oh, the hell with it.
Thank you.
There we go.
That took forever.
Whatever, leave me alone.
No, we
we're
can't
far
do
from
that, unfortunately. You've been apparently messing with some of our friends.
I've
And
done
we
no
need to know
such
why.
thing. There's no...
Well, you did to Matilda, as established.
I believe it would be hard to actually, bear witness of that. I don't think that there's anything that I could have done to them.
But you did try to do something to them, right?
I don't believe I did. I believe I will go back with the established I did nothing wrong, and despite my frightened demeanor, it was mostly as a defense for myself. If I was more frightened, then obviously I would get more lenience, at least as I would thought. Or you champions could just execute me here, though the people outside would definitely ask why I was not brought to justice, would they not?
We have no intention of executing you. That would be barbaric and cruel. But he is curious why people's memories are being taken,
Curious indeed.
forced. He finds it very similar to other magic he knows. Do you know any kind of magic of any sort?
Dabble. But it's nothing on that kind of a way. I mean, that is very powerful magic. You would have to be some kind of a master for something like that, I would think.
You would.
I dabble, but you can take me out of here and put me in any situation, and you would find that I do not have any of the skill that you are looking for as far as that is concerned. Hell, you can
Maybe
even bring
not.
your Zelda to me and have them look over me themselves. I do not believe that I give off the magician vibe. It will hold up to any sort of scrutiny that you would have for me, especially if you have magic songs, as you say you did. They sort of just take their manacled hands and put them over the top of their head, just kind of leaning back in their chair.
When it comes to like his outfit, Deco, is he wearing anything red?
Currently, no. In fact, as you look him over, he seems rather common. Marco, in particular, would you like to roll me for your instinct, though, please?
Yes, I would love to. Let me just grab 3 more of these boys. Because, you know, if I'm gonna succeed, I want to succeed as much as possible. So 13 plus 5, 7, 8, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Marco, having had the amount of training you have had, watching him, especially as he just made that movement of putting his arms up and up into a more comfortable position for himself, you do note that those manacles are extremely loose on this person.
Ah, I see. Hmm. Oh, I didn't say that out loud. I did not mean that in character. My bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to think.
It seems as if their manacles are extremely loose, which you would not think the guards or even the Bishop of War would have let that happen with him.
Marco will, since Polo's right here, he will whisper what he has just figured out about this man's deal here. He has loosened his own manacles, it seems. Either that, or maybe somebody else did. Not entirely sure, but they're way too loose for the Bishop of War or any of the other guards to have just left it like that.
It doesn't look like they are being very helpful toward all of you.
Yeah.
You could either continue questioning, you could make your way back toward the Bishop of War and let them know of their new changed demeanor. You could make your way inside and question them further while inside the cell, or you can make your way away from the area now.
I'm just looking at my abilities, see if I had anything that could help. Go ahead, Gorthos.
So, who did put you up to it?
Up
You
to
know
what?
so many names. Aiding and harming the princess, of course.
I've told you before, I did not do it.
He supposes that someone like you probably didn't have any contact with anyone, such as Aghanim. You are fairly plain, and not very skilled. But maybe someone else. So many pawns have pawns nowadays, Gorthos finds it tired.
And one of your pawns.
Oh, he doesn't have any.
Funny.
Is it?
From what I've heard of the name Gorthos, all I can ever remember is that they surround themselves with pawns. Ones that freely show themselves to do everything they ask just to die their mortal lives.
You know,
In
Your
his,
say that.
sources, your sources are skewed in their perspective.
they're not
Perhaps
only
we should, perhaps we should ask any of the ones that have lived to this point then. Do they exist?
Yes, we do.
Oh. Good for you.
That is something, though. Where did you get your sources from? Most people in Hyrule don't even remember the name Gorthos.
I read
Only the new
books.
one. Where? I mean, most books around here don't have anything about him. I don't even recall if any in the king's private collection has as much about him.
I did
And
not.
I'm
It
sure
was very disheartening.
And I'm sure you've read every book in the city. It's in a library off to the southeast of town, kind of tucked away. Quickly, go and read every book that they have to prove me wrong.
I mean, we have the glasses for it.
You do have artifacts for that, you're right. We'll take what, a day?
So why haven't you made yourself comfortable?
She just kind of like puts her hands up in this little manacled state.
That.
Oh, I guess they must have forgotten to tighten these. I didn't want to tell them to, obviously. The metal hurts my wrists. You can come tighten them if you wish.
There's just a
Sure.
look back at everyone.
Marco will go in, and he will try to tighten this man's manacles. What will the man try to do?
Marco, as you make your way in, you see that he does hold his manacles out towards you. I would like for you to, upon stepping in, and you're lucky it's you that stepped in here.
Oh, believe me, I have been wanting to walk in this entire time.
I need you to first off roll me a danger sense. You are gonna roll me for your instinct, my dude.
Will do. Let's just take.
No reason, by the way. I got
One of these.
no reason.
Yeah.
No reason.
Yeah.
Why would there be a reason? For
What reason? Reason? There's a reason,
Raisins.
you know. I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna do. You know, this is dangerous, knowing that we're going into a criminal's thing when he has his loosened.
I think I'd like
I
to...
find it more stupid than dangerous.
Is it not dangerous though?
I thought so.
Do you feel
Fine.
like you feel like you're going to die?
I guess not.
Do you feel like you're going to come to great harm by doing your thing, or are you very confident?
I'm very confident.
Can I
That's
give him a
not-
jam sesh to give him a goddess point?
Sure.
I'm gonna
Sure.
give him a life. I'm giving life of Gorthos on Marco. Hold on, let me roll. I don't.
Everyone said you will not fail this roll.
You will not.
This is
if we have
this is
anything to
the-
say.
This is
That's
the
a
first
fucking
roll.
thing.
But
That's a
First
nine.
roll.
So add a 7 to your fucking roll.
Cool. Oh.
all right, so you're gonna have a +8
I'm
onto
gonna
whatever
have a
your other
plus
thing
8.
already is. Go ahead and roll me another one for your goddess point, and then another one for Ronan's jam session. 2 now
Jesus.
ones
Could you stop?
2 now ones in a row?
Switch dice, hurry.
In a row?
and
Okay.
roll me one more because you just got a fleeting.
Ah, thank you. Thank you for that fleeting.
Venturous
That's
gave it to you.
20. Oh my god! That was it
Okay.
landed firmly on 17, and then was like, nah.
Okay, guys, can I get a new D20? This one's going to the
9, 10,
curse
11,
pile.
12, 13.
Yeah, put it in the curse pile.
I'm putting this dice is too dangerous.
I hate when inanimate plastic does the wrong thing.
I hate when digital plastic does the wrong thing.
Here, I'll make you a new one here. We'll make it a darker green. How about that? We'll make
I
it like
cannot believe the Fortune
really-
Finder 2 did this to me.
make it a really
Fortune Finder
dark
3,
green.
let's
There
go.
you
Where did Fortune Finder 1 go?
I don't know. Probably
It's all
lost
good.
with one of the rooms that fucking exploded.
Probably.
It's a fortune to find for later.
But as you step your way in, Marco, you feel almost like things around you slow. For a moment, you don't entirely understand why, but as you look to the man in front of you who's holding out his manacles, you notice something off with his skin. As you look at it
Oh.
extremely closely, you recognize it. As you look off to the right, and I'm gonna need you to roll me for an attack, please. Because as you look to your right, you notice a near invisible presence near you.
I have to roll for an attack.
Oh, shit.
You notice a near invisible presence near you as you look over and you see readying a strike with what appears to be some a large bladed, a needle-like weapon. You see what appears to be a man wearing a mask in a very, again, almost invisible to the naked eye as they're swinging a blade at you.
Okay,
You are
so
able
I'm
to
doing
strike them first, however.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Big money,
hell
big
yeah.
money,
Big
big
number,
money.
big number, big number.
You have a fleeting.
8. Oh. 13, 15. Let's see here. Which one am I on right now? I'm on the boomerang. Maybe I'd be on the short sword.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. I feel like he wouldn't walk in here with a boomerang. So, you know.
He doesn't have the
Alright.
jazz
You'll
bar
definitely
yet,
hit
so-
with it.
16,
Roll me
17,
the,
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
At this point, you can add more to your 1d6 extra. You have 6 charges currently on this thing because you haven't used it in quite a few days. You have 3. How many charges are supposed to be on this thing?
Right here.
5 charges. You have 5 charges on this thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to use any extra charges to try to stop this person? You know, upon looking to
Yeah.
them, they definitely look like somebody you probably don't want to give a chance to.
Yeah, let's just gonna go ahead and let's
That
be
looks
really
like a
fun. You know what? All 5.
All
Fuck it.
5.
Oh
Okay.
god.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Brutality.
bitch.
The fucking
1,
brutality.
2,
I
This is
3,
live.
my
4,
number.
5, 6. It's gonna be whatever this is plus 2
Max.
damage.
Max,
Okay.
max, 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 max.
Oh my god.
Wait.
I'm waiting. Are you doing the
Because of my upgrade to flanking strike, can I roll that as well with this one attack to get another bonus? I mean, I guess if it only do 1 plus 1
Finesse,
to the damage.
intelligence,
Actually, wait, that doesn't do much here.
It'll bring your critical to a 19, but you've
But I
already rolled, so it
rolled
doesn't really do
whatever
anything.
I
Yeah, I
rolled.
wouldn't worry about it
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
On.
It'll be 2 plus
on.
whatever this is. Oh my god.
Jesus.
So let's go with nat 19 right there. 19 damage.
11.
This is man just get fucking
I just
pancaked.
hovered over it and it adds it up for
Oh
you.
my god.
Can I add some Gorthos D4s to that?
Gorthos, you wouldn't
I know
even
it doesn't
see. You wouldn't even
Yeah,
see Marco
I
draw
know.
his weapon. This is just how much of a difference this Sheikah training has been to this boy. As you look at Marco for a moment, all three of you can see him immediately turn his head, but he turns it almost too fast. And as you see him turn his head, he's already drawn his weapon and sliced in front of him. At which point you hear 2 simultaneous one coming from the creature, from the person in front of you as they fade away, and the other coming from a slamming sensation inside as a large amount of flames just explodes outward. He's down.
Good.
He had 12 HP.
Get fucked.
It's like
This ain't a Sheikah.
maybe
Looks kind of
he's-
like one.
maybe he needs to go to Kakariko Village.
You guys
Wasn't
notice that there is a person now inside the cell with Marco that is not the person you saw before.
Marco immediately goes to get the shit that is dangerous off this man's.
Oh yeah.
The main thing you find from it, you find that he is obviously wearing some very red robes and very red cloaks and things that you don't really feel like you want to touch. Other than that, he is wearing a mask on his face, and from what you can tell, again, that large needle-like bladed weapon that he had dropped out of his hand.
Yep, scooping that needle up.
When I
guy's
say
in full
needle,
red.
I say this thing is like a long dagger-sized needle.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Oh,
thing's
I know.
big.
I know what you're. I understand what it is. What it probably looks like.
This thing is big.
Deco.
What's up?
When the far step spell that Obera taught me,
Mhm.
does it have to target a creature?
I will remind you that it is you probably will not be able to cast anything that Obera
Oh, that's
taught you in
right.
here,
Dang it. Okay.
unfortunately.
good attempt though.
Unfortunately. But as soon as that happens, you guys hear what's happened? What's going on?
Dude was faking it the whole time.
Fucking... You just hear the bed
He's-
again as he lays back down.
It kind of looks like a Sheikah,
Wait, what? You hear
but
the
he's
bed-
red.
Yes, a red Sheikah.
Is anybody else going into the area with Marco? Because right
I
now you guys
can't.
are looking at the back of this guy. Marco, you could bring him out as well if you'd like, but again, it's difficult.
Marco, you know what? He has long hair, right? He drags him out by the hair.
Unga bunga.
Poor Sheikah Lindo.
Here he is.
Poor
Don't
Yiga
touch-
Lindo.
I suggest not touching the red on him. Pretty sure that's that fabric that we keep seeing around.
The horrible mind-altering one, yes.
He also had this weapon here. He was about to stab me with it.
What is that?
Is it a Sheikah?
It kind of looks like one, but
It has the.
The mark isn't quite the same, is it?
Yes, if you look at the mask, that is definitely the same mark as all the other Sheikah. They
That
don't
is
have they don't
right.
have the upside down one. The Yiga don't technically exist in this world, but that is definitely
Okay.
a Sheikah mask.
They're the anti-Sheikah.
But it is red
Sheikah?
as opposed.
Sheikah.
It is red as opposed to like he is wearing red as opposed to all the other Sheikah wearing blue
Yeah.
mostly.
Gorthos feels that this is familiar to him.
Oh, well, if that was all it took.
She pulls out 3 apples that she had on her this whole time.
I could have just gotten the apple.
he also I guess he did the clone technique, but it was another looking dude. It didn't look like one, but it just kind of.
Perhaps
It also felt
Roki and-
slow in there. He says, having been faster than y'all.
Fucking
just
danger
puts a-
sense, danger sense mixed with Sheikah training, dude.
Fucking
And
slow time. You
and
have
if I
a
needed to-
San
You're
Devis stand built into your fucking training, dude.
I am the Sandevistan. I also have dungeon action, which you know.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
could
said.
just use two of them to keep hitting him before he got a turn.
You're a Max Sandy build. Fuck you.
So he is unconscious, correct?
Yeah, he got some pretty bad burns from my weapon. Though I kind of used up all the charges in it for today. Oh well, I don't think we'll be fighting anytime soon.
Well, now what do we do with him?
Well, I imagine we get all of his, gear away from him and then wake him up.
You don't want to touch it.
When it comes to whatever that thing he's wearing is, if it has some magical properties on it, it might be somewhat mitigated in here. If that's the case, I should be able to touch it. I wouldn't recommend any of the rest of you trying, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we've dealt
And
with
if it does do something, then I can play a song and maybe fix it. So
Well, yeah, get ready with that.
all right.
If you suddenly feel an extremely powerful urge to call this person your friend, and you know it's worked on you.
I don't have friends. He leans down.
We'll see. And this should be easy to find out.
I don't
then.
have friends. They disappoint me.
It's just like, I don't have friends. We'll see about that, says Gortho. Writing him down in his Christmas card catalog.
We'll see about that, you little whippersnapper.
You would see that the Bishop of War leans down. As he does go to grab at the cloak and things around him. You see him immediately strip him down of any kind of red clothing on him and toss it into the main area, as well as the mask. He seems to take it off of him and is about to toss it before he looks at it. Strange.
May Gortha see that.
It's a little small for you, but here.
Yeah, he can make it work, but he just wants to examine it.
It doesn't seem like it has anything in particular in common with that other stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's working the same way I've seen other of their, what do they call them? Masks of Truths. Feels different. As he hands it off to you, Gorthos, you bring an eye up to it. As you do note that looking through it, you don't really see much of anything immediately. You look around until you do find, looking at the Sheikah, as well as looking at the clothes inside of the cage, appear to have a red outline among them. You also look around at the cells and also see the same red outline, except for the cell that the Bishop of War is in.
Fascinating.
As I explained it to Jasna during the Jasna game, this seems to be outlining everything in the room that could be considered a threat.
It seems to be a threat detection device.
Threat detection? That's...
So many of the cells, the Sheikah's clothing, the Sheikah themselves, constantly glows red.
Am I bright red?
Marco is not a danger to you. What are you talking about? It's Marco.
Of course not, Marco. Why would you threaten Gorthos?
Oh,
Good to know.
It might only
How
see
could you
depending on the
possibly?
wearer?
Looks at Bishop of War.
You see him look at you, and as soon as Polo says that, he looks at you and then narrows his eyes as you see a thick outline appear around him.
Everything seems in order to Gorthos.
I tried imagining ripping the head off your shoulders. Are you sure it didn't work?
Oh, it does.
Sargus.
Oh, it's
I
Sargus?
remembered your name now.
Oh, was that the actual name?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No, I just looked up a star and I was like, what letter haven't I used to start with a starting name yet? There's a star called Sargus.
All right,
Yeah.
Sargus. then.
That works. I wasn't going.
How do you spell that?
I put it in already.
Oh, okay. Hey,
What
perfect.
was my thought? Oh, he just chuckles at him. Just.
He looks like a Sargus.
Yeah.
Oh, it did make you glow. It's just you're not the first one to try and pop off Gorthos' head, and it still didn't work. Here, try it on yourself, Paul. It's quite fun.
Okay.
Gorthos intends to completely steal this from the Sheikah.
this is now Gorthos.
There's the
Yes.
thing where she like at first puts it on, but then it's like her glasses, and it's like, oh, hold on, and then takes it off and then puts her glasses over it.
You find that again, as you put the mask on, there's no holes or anything for you to be able to see from, but you can see perfectly fine with the mask on. For you, it's more difficult because you're not wearing your glasses.
That's why she
However-
put her glasses on top of the mask.
Oh, you put it on the other side.
Well, that's weirdly, you just need glasses and little tiny
It's
holes
just
through which
glasses
you
on
can see
top of the
clearly.
Sheikah.
You find that the Sheikah, as well as the Sheikah's clothing, again are glowing. You're not getting the same thing from the cages. You're decently sure none of these have any sort of threat to you.
Huh. This is interesting.
You wonders why all the cells were so threatening.
They
Say
are
for the
not.
bit.
They are not threatening.
Oh, Gorthos is very glad he didn't get on the wrong side of the king this time around. Nothing. He'll talk about it later. No, he won't. Some things are best left forgotten.
Like this place. I'm gonna destroy it now. I'm playing.
Seto.
Well, now what do? We have we have thoroughly disrobed our.
Now that we know that this is a Sheikah, this is definitely something above our pay grade for interrogation. We can send this over toward Kakariko, maybe. Or maybe we can even bring in those two from upstairs.
Oh no, you only need this.
Just holds up an apple.
He looks to the apple, looks back to you. Do you think he will divulge all of his secrets and trust us completely by giving him an apple?
We might need more than just an apple. Maybe several hundred.
I have 3.
Maybe 2 apples?
Here's what you do, sir. Here's what you do, Uncle. You pull out an apple, and then you ask your question. And if he becomes recalcitrant, you pull out the second apple. And then if he is still further recalcitrant, but you feel like you just need one further nudge, you pull out the third.
I really don't know if that'll work with him.
No, it works.
I will keep
Gorthos
that in
inclined to
mind. He
believe.
hands the 3 apples back over to you. I will keep that in mind. We are at the castle. I can get my own apples.
All right, fine.
So we get that before the
You
other
can
two.
tell, like, as he's looking at you, he doesn't fully believe you, but he does, like, have, like, a thing of, she wouldn't be saying this if she wasn't somewhat serious. I've never seen her joke about something serious. But, like, there's, like, a
She's
sort
not.
of
She's
unbelievable
saying
thing to exactly. He's saying, like, there has to be something to this, but I don't fully understand or believe, but they wouldn't be joking about it. But he seems to be trying to come to terms with it.
They're so dangerous, but they're so stupid.
How about this, Uncle? If you really do not believe me, yet still just cannot shake the feeling that I am actually serious because I am, just take it. And if not, and if it doesn't work, then, I don't know, play a prank on Roki or something.
Here's
I'll
the
take
very
your apple,
accurate-
Polo.
Thank you.
If anything, it'll be a nice snack after I'm done beating this man when he wakes up.
Do we want to accelerate that?
Wake him up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's see.
I would rather have some kind of a assurance of this. But now that we know that he's a Sheikah, it would be very, very good to have one of them down here.
Oh, you mean Roki or Kira?
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're not here right now.
Oh.
They're not?
As soon as we got word back from Kakariko, Kira started making her way off toward the walls of the castle town. I think Roki went after her. I think she's still set on ending her employment.
All right.
Either way, we'll see exactly what happens with that later. I need to tell the king about this, and when it comes to... He looks around and doesn't look like these things were able to let him out at the very least. I don't think he was able to leave them, so... Doop, 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 doop.
Just yeets him by the hair.
It's like throws him into the cell directly beside of his. There we go.
You're sure that's enough?
Again, I don't know exactly what we could do to hold him. If this is really a Sheikah, then no kind of manacle or anything we put on him is going to actually work on him. They're slippery. But it looks like these cages kept them in perfectly fine.
I think that traitorous Sheikah still exists even in Castletown.
Are they the type that would have like a way to silence themselves?
Silence themselves?
On some stories you hear about, people that have, ways of like killing themselves if they get caught.
If he did, I'm sure he would have done it by now, but I don't know.
He still had his weapon and everything. He was basically hiding himself already. He probably didn't feel like he needed to.
There was something
How did he
about...
get all that stuff in here?
That's what I'm saying. There's something about this that doesn't seem to add up too much with me. I've been inside that cell over and over and I was never attacked. It only happened whenever you walked in, meaning he felt that he could take you down. He was obviously wrong.
Of course he is. Marco's a champion.
But that does mean that he's not going to be pulling anything like that if I go in.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I don't think I could have taken him down as quick as you did.
I've had some pretty nice training.
When he wakes up, we'll see what all we can do. I'm going to go and tell the king about this, see what he plans to have done. But because this is a Sheikah matter, it is very hard to make a decision on it right now. If the Sheikah are the ones responsible for this, then there needs to be someone to let us know what's exactly going on.
While you do that, would you mind terribly if we woke him up and tried to ask him a few questions?
That's what I'm saying. This is a Sheikah matter that's very close to everything. We can't make any decisions without the king.
Oh.
You guys
He's
do know
right.
that you have some other Sheikah, however. At least a couple of you know that you have some other Sheikah down in your place.
Though,
If you want to
It
say
is
that out
fine.
loud, is all up to you.
we will let Magnus, Roki, and Kira get to work with this. We can wait on their responses on what they find with this traitor. But we may not be out of sources yet.
What gets me is that even if this is a Sheikah, they shouldn't be able to use any sort of magic here, so I don't know what happened with you, since you said something else happened with you earlier.
I guess my guess at this point is that he's not the only one. doing this.
He was merely the catalyst to allow someone else to do. Were it only so easy to just delve into another person's mind like that.
So I guess we just wait then?
We'll let you know whenever we have an answer. We still have to send out word to either Roki or Kira to make their way back here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll handle that in just a bit. I'll have one of the others go and wake up the king, and then we will get to the bottom of this as soon as we can.
Roki and Kira and Kakarika, correct?
They're heading there. Roki left out about an hour ago, so he's probably halfway there by now. I don't know how Sheikah run.
He thinks very fast. This has been very more informative than he was expecting, but there seems to be much that needs doing. So, Sargus, thank you. You did provide some beneficial action here.
Sorry that whatever I did, I didn't notice this guy. I must be getting old.
He doubts that. You surely are still in your prime.
Hold on to that mask. You never know when you might need something like that. But I would be careful of it. If they are tricky as they seem, they might have done something to it too.
It will take time to study it. But before long, Gorthos will have its secrets.
I'll make sure it's not cursed.
But if anything happens to the rest of them, I'll know who to come and beat.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciated.
He says oblivious.
I don't have many friends. This is why.
If ever you tire of this most delightful place, our home is always open to you.
We'll see. I get going.
All right.
All right. And
Walk
away
on
we
out.
go.
As you guys would find yourselves going off and away, you guys would again, those of you who would know, which is everybody but Ronan at this point. As you guys would get up and out from the part of the castle you guys are in and out onto the main bridge, you guys would immediately understand that, oh, if this is some kind of weird Sheikah thing, you guys just got 2 weird Sheikah prisoners inside of your basement. Again, everyone but Ronan would know. Ronan's like, what are we gonna do, guys?
Well, I guess there's nothing to do.
I guess we go talk to our other prisoners.
Our 2 prisoner Sheikah traders.
Oh, we have those?
Apparently, yes.
Yes.
Convenient.
Let's just explain the situation to Ronan and laugh
Let's
at how Roki and Kira are walking when they could have just walked in there to our house.
I didn't know.
I know, but it's funny.
I mean, we should probably tell them that we have a Kakariko shortcut now. But anyway.
As you guys would make your way back, we're gonna assume you guys get Ronan up to speed as you do.
Yeah.
Ronan, you were told about the excursion that Jasna and Gallon had over to Kakariko as well as Clavier. As you make your way back, it does explain why there were so many chickens in the house whenever you left, or Cocos in the house.
There's so many of these things I've never seen before.
Well, you saw them over at the farm.
Yeah, the things I'd never seen before that.
Yeah. You were also told that there was something left for you on the table. You had left before you would come, before you were told this to go and get it. But as you guys would come back, Ronan, you would look over by where, again, this big wallet is that you guys have also been given. Look at it; it's very nice, full of money, has money in it.
Money's
inside. It's so much money.
I thought it said Big Mac wallet.
Big Mac wallet.
That'd be very awesome.
But as
Big
you make
Mac
your way over
Whopper.
to it, Ronan, you would find that there is a book there that seems to, as you open it, be written down in a lot of musical notes. Whoever wrote it down obviously didn't understand musical notes because they didn't write it down very well. The composition's all off, but at least it seems to be mostly copied down correctly.
Okay.
As you look it over,
Yes,
you find
if
that
you
you
use
could...
this song, I'll come after you. Okay, I don't think you would. Okay, good. I'm glad she knows. And I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad she's doing okay too.
Oh, no, that's right.
What?
No one's told Ronan about Gallon's story.
Yeah, that's what you guys just did.
That's what you guys were doing
That's
on the
what
way
we
here.
just did.
Oh, okay. I thought the doing well thing was like, oh, you didn't hear what happened with Jason.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you
She's
guys
doing
were-
well now.
Yeah, they weren't for a while. They were.
Yeah, she
like,
also wrote a PSS saying, "I hope you guys are doing well."
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they weren't doing well for a little bit, but now they're doing well. It's fine.
Yeah.
As you get there and you see this, it would take you a little bit of study to look it over. However, while you're looking at this, roll me for your diligence real quick. You're lucky I'm not making you roll experience, because I think it would be more experience, but I'm gonna let you go diligence.
That's 18.
You can't shake the feeling as you look over the notes that you've seen / heard / the composition of these seem familiar to you. The notes themselves seem extremely familiar to what you're doing. Roll me experience and roll me with advantage because you have a fleeting.
Oh, thank you, whoever did that. Hey-ya.
Kia.
-1.
I don't know.
4. And one more time, please.
Okay.
Final time, though.
I do think this is kind of a lost cause roll anyway,
Yeah.
but
You're good. You're good. You're good. You can't really pinpoint it. You can't really put it together, but you feel like you might have, whatever this is, it seems familiar. Maybe whenever you learn it, you can put 2 and 2 together with it. But right now, other things are on your mind.
yeah.
As you guys make your way down into the basement area, you find yourselves going over toward where the large section of area is that is the dungeons. Upon getting there, you guys would find stepping inside.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Loving it. You see inside of the things where the manacles are that will be holding them to the walls, because you guys know that those are the ones that not only stop them from doing magic things, but also literally make it where they can't wake up until you guys let them. You guys see the 2 Sheikah. One of them is in the regular area. The other one is beside of them. The 2 of them seem to be up and definitely looking at them, showing a lot of familiarity to the one you guys just fought.
Oh, their clothes have definitely basically been put into the closet, right?
Yes, they are wearing the prison-esque outfit that they would be wearing, which is again just like rags and shit. As you look over, however, you also hear, "Oh, it's good to meet you. You're the champions, right?"
Our reputation continues to precede us.
I've only recently heard of you. As you turn around, again, not having noticed them until the time that they would have been around here, you guys see. If I can get him over fucking here without him flying into space.
I mean, he likes it.
Stop flying into space!
Maybe,
But his people need him. People need.
Oh,
just like
this boy.
start. It's like, geez.
You guys see behind, sitting in one of the chairs, again, just sort of like watching you guys move. His presence finally having been felt / known. Both Polo and Marco looking over, you feel like you should have seen him, especially the 2 of you, but he seems very much as if he was.
I should have
just
seen
came
him.
out of nowhere.
I should have.
Oh.
Sorry, did not mean to shock any of you. I'm just a little bit on edge whenever I hear footsteps now, especially around now. I'm a guest in your home, though. I should not have hidden from you. That's my bad.
Just to let people know we have this here. It kind of came with the house.
We're working on renovations. Maybe. We're not sure yet, considering how useful it's been.
Understood. I am Elder Havar of the Kakariko village.
Elder?
Oh.
The Elder of Kakariko is in our home.
Well,
You look rather young for an elder.
the others, unfortunately, have had issues. We had a bit of a problem as of recently, and most of our elders had succumbed to terrible frights,
Oh.
leaving
We've
me
heard too.
as the next in line to take over. One of the current elders was my grandfather.
We've heard of your recent troubles. Dorthos' sympathies go out to you and yours, Elder. We wish you could have been there.
We have all had troubles, Gorthos. It is no problem at all. when it comes to all of you, again, your reputation does indeed precede you. I've heard much from Jasna from most of you, but obviously I've also heard quite a bit of the mighty Gorthos as well.
Yeah. He's not sure how to feel about nowadays. Do you have no self-control?
What?
Polo.
What?
Nothing. It's
Anyway.
a gift. She likes to give fruit to people. At any rate.
Oh, I will happily accept any fruit that is given to me. Where'd some be?
I don't know.
It's not on the table anymore.
Yeah, I know it's on the table.
He did not
I
move.
think we all just kind of like had that look. You see the
Gas like the fuck out of you to give him more food.
Instead of like the circle eyes, it's just like the line of like, half open.
I just love while he's talking and looking at Gorthos and Marco, she just comes around in his peripheral, puts the apple down, backs away, and then it's just like she just kind of crosses her arms and has like the tiniest little smug expression, like I told you all.
Either way, I was mostly waiting here in case your amenities here malfunctioned or there was any need for explanation, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. So I will most likely be making my way back home. That being said, it was very good to meet all of you.
Before that, just a question.
Of course.
Among the Sheikah at Kakariko, are there any like witches or mages or of that sort?
Well, it is extremely difficult to say. However, it is not common for magic to be born into the Sheikah of that nature, no. We are much more akin to, physical fighting. Our entire existence has been to serve the royal family, and the royal family being as magically inclined as they are, you can almost say that we have adapted throughout the years to not really worry about things of that nature while we're young at the very least. There have been some elders that have learned magic in their old age after all of their endeavors, either protecting the royal family or through protecting the people that are in our village. But no one of my or their age motions forward.
Then when you say fright that they have suffered, have they mentioned anything about learning their magic?
Oh, I did
I had a
not
line
wish
of
to
questioning here.
I did not wish to go too deeply into it, but before, I'm sure that Jasna and Galen have told you what has happened to us.
About the dead hands and such, yes.
And your missing treasure.
Yes, the Shadow Medallion.
Shadow Medallion.
Before all of us understood what was happening, the elders would always come forth with talks of bad dreams, nightmares. They did not mention that they were any sort of experiences that they had, no. They were speaking of, I'm assuming, the terrors that were around the village. You see him having stopped for a second and then saying around the village at the time. When it came to it and the time that I finally saw them for myself, I do understand their frights. They were terrible creatures. The worst I'd ever seen. And by far. They most likely succumbed to that, though whenever they were speaking, they did mention that their nightmares were very vivid, extremely more experiences than anything, but I did not hear them speak of their magics or any trials they had gone through now. That being said, unfortunately, a lot of us have been dealing with lapses of memory as of late. That was a side effect of those creatures. They apparently had the ability to take away our memories and our minds.
Knows that feeling all too well.
If we had been any later, we would have lost 80% of our populace, I believe. The Sheikah have very strict rules about how many of us are active at any given time and how many of us go about doing anything, because our teachings, while they may seem old-fashioned and trivial to some, make any of us the match for just about any fighter that we could find out there. So it is imperative that we keep ourselves in check in some ways. That being said, I've never met the two in front of you. He motions toward the ones that are in the cages. They are not people of our village, which means someone has not been listening to that as of late.
That also means the ones.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
whatever this splinter faction is, Elder, is not a recent change. He remembers traitor Sheikah stabbing him and others in the back 1,000 years ago.
Those are some powerful accusations, Gorthos, but I have no reason to think that they are wrong, especially with what I just saw. Things could go back quite a long while, especially if they have a number as they do here. I only worry how much numbers they could have.
It seems that there are wars on many fronts happening in the world that even you and yours are not aware of.
If we were, the information died with my grandfather.
And would this be the call to arms for you, then? There's clearly something amiss in Hyrule.
I have made my way here, and I have exposed everything to the castle whenever I showed myself. At which point I will mostly be staying here in between, thanks to your rather impressive manner here. I can make my way back to my home in no time at all, but I do also need to be here in case the king has need of me. So if all of you do not mind, I will be going back and forth throughout this. If you have any need of me in that time, of course I am at your disposal. I owe Jasna that much.
Thank you very much.
He hopes to speak with her again one day, but incidentally, we do have an unconscious prisoner in the Callous dungeon. He tried to assassinate dear Marco here. No, that was a fruitless effort.
I assume you're bringing it up to me because it may be connected.
He disguised himself with a clone as a regular Hylian, but he was also one of them. He points back behind him.
Disguised himself as a clone. That's a powerful doppelganger technique.
And he was just completely, or almost invisible to most other people, as far as I could tell, but I was able to sense him out.
You are lucky to be alive, sir. The doppelganger technique is terrifying. If he would have incapacitated you or struck you down, he might have taken your own visage for himself.
By the way, is this a common weapon of the Sheikah as he pulls out the needle dagger thing?
You bring out that strange serrated needle that has like the sharp edges all throughout it. As he looks it over, no, this is nothing like what we use.
So I was hoping that you'd say that. He's desperate to know how these things are made. And in the...
Our blacksmith makes us fine weapons, but none of them jagged and...
This is not a tool of assassination. This is a tool to induce suffering.
Yes. Our weapons attempt to take our opponents down as quickly and as quietly as possible, either incapacitating or in the worst of times killing. This is meant to do pain, to draw blood, to be messy.
Not only that, this person has been, as far as we can tell, been involved with the aforementioned, because I asked about it, taking of magical experiences from others, despite being in the jail cell.
I know nothing. I know nothing of that
attempt on the
technique.
princess's life. In a sense, the princess was a constant.
And these two have been here all day, right?
Yes.
He gestures back to them.
And from what I was told, they cannot perform any kind of magic while inside, if they even could.
Shouldn't be
Would
no
you
reason for that.
consider your... I mean, clearly the clone thing that you guys do isn't like a magical thing, right?
It is
Or is
connected to our weave. He motions as he
Right.
takes his the jacket part of the thing off, showing the blue kind of bluish black leather underneath. Our weave is made in such a way that it connects with different magical stones and other kinds of fabrics, goddess metal, things of that nature. It is a
Would it
specific
even-
weave that is... It's not something that I can divulge the full recipe to any of you, but it is
Sure.
extremely hard to come across.
Whoa.
Is it at all possible that that technique is something that is connected to that too? That they could do it with that it's not magic?
Potentially, but if at any sort of distance, like what we think that happened with the princess, probably not. The clones, when they come to them, they're usually making a copy of the user that's wearing the weave. When it comes to the doppelganger technique, it is a little bit more complicated. The Sheikah would attack and incapacitate the person that they wish to take the form of, and then leave a piece of the weave inside of them. It is
Ugh.
brutal, yes, but it is not meant to kill, as if they did kill, then they would not be able to use the other's visage.
So there's a person out there that has a bit of the weave in them. Whether that means that they are walking around with just injury without knowing it's in them, or if they've been captured.
We will see to it that we can try to find such an individual. It would be difficult, but we will try. You yourself
Well-
wear a piece of the weave on you, so it might not have even
Yes.
been needed, but I don't think that our friend noticed that.
Beyond Rogi and Kira, are there other Sheikah stationed here that most people wouldn't be aware of?
There should only ever be 2 Sheikah in Castletown. The reason that there are 2 is so that they can balance each other out. If one of them does anything, the other would take them down. There should not be any more Sheikah here, at least living here. I myself am here because I am coming to speak with the king, but envoys aside, there should only be 2 living Sheikah living in the walls.
And what about any Sheikah that have left the village, such as when Jazza did? Have there been many of those?
Jasna is a rare case. You see him look kind of uncomfortable for a second. They were not skilled enough to take the training. As such, most of the elders back then, although as wrong as I do know them to be, did not consider Jasna a Sheikah. At least a true one as far as the numbers will be concerned.
So,
I'm mostly asking because I have
No.
a very bad gut feeling.
No other Sheikah leave. After they've taken the training, they are a part of the village for life.
Diego, when was the last time we seen Taki?
The one that was in the village that was the blacksmith or the
The
carpenter.
carpenter
The,
Yeah.
the
that
one
was
built
helping
my
us
forge.
here in our
on the-
house.
on the the one that was working on the changes to our house.
They were
one
working on
that
the
I
change.
noticed.
They were working on the changes to the house the last time you saw them, but you haven't really seen them that much ever since things were done. Again, a month had gone by, so you can assume that the changes to Gorthos's area, despite not showing on the map, obviously, is done. His area here is complete. It has a forge, it has things like that, so they have not been here since that has been completed.
Okay, I'm mostly asking because I did not forget about her, Diego.
Mhm.
That I had a sense that she was some kind of Sheikah, but didn't say anything about it.
There should only be 2 Sheikah that live in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Is there a Sheikah that might have gone by the name Taki?
Taki? I do not know. I don't know all of the Sheikah, unfortunately. Again, most knowledge has died with my grandfather, but there is not any, to my knowledge, that I know.
No skilled carpenter in particular that you are aware of that would have been missing?
No. When it comes to craftsmen in the Sheikah, carpentry is not a one that we go with. If the skill that the Sheikah has did not in some way move toward the training, such as blacksmiths making weapons or armors or any sort of things like that, if the profession does not go for, well, defending or harming, it is not one that we implement, which is again why Jasna was not seen as one by the elders. Again, despite the fact that I know that they should have been.
How many elders or so?
There were
Please.
4. Unfortunately, their numbers have dwindled down to 1. That one is in critical condition at the moment.
Best not to worry about what could have been. Now, there is something. Well, firstly, Gorthus would like to meet this blacksmith one day, but before that.
It is Jasna's mother.
Really?
Oh.
Fascinating. No,
Should be relatively easy to get you an audience with them.
Gorthus would also like to just explore your Kakariko. It's been so long. Do you still have the huts?
We will come to you. You don't need to bring yourself over there. We are still rebuilding, and as we all know, your manor opens up into a very dangerous hut full of cuckoos.
They're not
does?
that bad.
Oh, it does.
Yes, Gallon insisted.
Gallon.
Oh.
They're not that bad.
You knew.
Extremely
Doing
dangerous.
that.
You should probably just allow us to make our way to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like looks at him.
Fucking.
Well,
I know that we're here
We will come back to that. But
I
in the
They
spirit
really
of
don't want
being-
Gorthos to know about the Shadow Temple.
Gorthos we'll talk about his aid in your rebuilding. But before then, in the sake of being honest and open, we did confiscate this from the Sheikah in the dungeon.
Oh,
It
another
takes
one
out
of
the
those.
mask.
Another one of those masks. Jasna found one as well.
They're fascinating things, but Gorthos feels as if these things operate a little differently than what they're supposed to.
can they see threats that we may not be aware of ourselves?
I don't know.
Listen,
I believe that maybe their way of being able to slip through everything, they can wear those while disguised, and then they would be able to know if there was anybody around them who would try to do them any harm. It seems to be powerful magics, but when it comes to any sort of items or artifacts with the symbol of the Eye of Truth on it, it is beyond, unfortunately, our current understanding of the rules of such magic items.
there's more
I have
reason
an
why you
idea.
do this. Mhm.
Sorry to cut you off. Can I see that real quick? The mask?
You reach over.
He'll take it, and he will put a hand on Gorthos's like knee or however wherever, and he will. Oh, we can't do stuff in here, can we?
You
We
can't do
that
stuff
in the jail
inside of
cells.
the jail cell.
inside the cells, but we can do it here.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna cast invisible. He's gonna turn Gorthos invisible,
Okay. You can definitely do so.
and he's gonna put the mask on his face.
Uh,
Gorthos, punch me.
How magnificent. He's always wanted to be invisible. He goes to strike Ronan.
The first thing you would notice, Ronan, is that while Gorthos is invisible, you still can't see him with the mask on. However, as soon as Gorthos goes to punch you, you do see an outline of a Gorthos appear in front of you,
Oh, okay.
and then you get punched.
No. He wouldn't follow through. Even then, the bishop worked for him. Just thinking about it would cause the mask to make someone glow.
As soon as you grip your fingies, Ronan's like, wait.
No,
Okay.
I just had that earlier. The bishop said it.
So then you can see things that are invisible if they're trying to hurt you. So that's good. I saw you like outlined. So that's good to know.
The bishop said it himself, of course. The Bishop of War mentioned that he had thought about popping off Gorthos's head, and he glowed brightly red through the mass outlines. Just from the intent.
Yeah.
Massive, powerful magics. We must study them. Apologies, Elder. He wants to know these secrets desperately.
When it comes to the Eye of Truth, it has always been a closely guarded secret of our people. But at the same time, I too would like to know more about this alternate use of the symbol.
Well, if it makes you feel better, there's probably 2 more masks in that little wall safe.
Only one. The one that I have came from one of them.
Ah. Good.
That being said, he looks over toward where the thing is. He opens it up. I had already retrieved their items before.
Did you have feel any strange sensations on touching the red cloth?
Oh, I was told not to by Gallon.
Oh,
Good.
Am I still invisible?
You are.
I dropped it.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
You know.
He just looks out. Oh.
If there's any other questions I could answer for you, then I am perfectly fine to answer them. Or if there's anything you wish to know of, anything about that I can tell you, I will try my hardest. And if you do not mind me staying here for the time being until either these two give information or until we actually understand what is going on, I will make myself comfortable. He sits down on the chair.
Our fruit trees outside grow infinite fruit.
I do not see why that is something that I need to know, but thank you.
Well, you
It
asked if
was-
anyone would be given fruit, we're taken.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was-
as just a regular kind of... Yeah,
It
of course,
was recently
yes.
cleared out by our guest Taki when they were here, so it will take a while for any fruit to bud from it.
You guys see, as soon as that is uttered, Ronan, you see a sense of danger go over Havan. No, like, he was just told he can't have fruit. He's going to kill everyone. No. As he sits there, I am more than capable of collecting my own food if need be.
Well, our pantries are infinite, and our chefos is immaculate with skills.
I was told about your chefos, but he was not here whenever I made my way here, which is why Clavier placed his wonderful attendants inside to whip me up something good, he said.
We're just
They have-
following Gorthos flashback to the boiling apples.
They have still not done anything. And I've been here for a couple of hours now. Several hours now.
We dead
I
are
see.
not known for their cognitive abilities. Usually.
I did not wish to put anything past Clavier, but I had started to think that, yes.
Well, he did know at least 2 we'll get to that later. That's a different story on the later. Anyway.
If I learn anything from these two, I will obviously bring it to you immediately.
It was appreciated.
Actually,
Thank you.
there is one other thing.
Yes, Elder?
He stands up, and as he does, he reaches into his bag and pulls out a small scroll. As soon as we were able to get here, I was able to collect any sort of mail or anything that would be making its way to Kakariko, and there was one that was a message to my grandfather, which I found was most likely extremely important. Aside from a message that was sent there from Castletown itself, which I think was mentioned with all of you in it, there was another that was mentioned of a how do I find it? What to do? He seems to be going through the note. Yes, there it is. Some kind of a strangity in the desert.
Oh, that.
Do you know what I speak of then?
Yeah. There's some stuff going on over there that we've been hearing about for a bit.
Yeah, stretched somewhat thin in our objectives, but rest assured we're aware. At least a little bit.
I'm surprised. I didn't think that word would travel to you about that, but understood.
So we are on the same page here. Not specifically. Just so that we aren't talking around in circles of two different things.
Well, apparently merchants there have been asking about their Sheikah attendants, talking about how merchants who have been going about and selling potions from witches and other sort of artisans have been disappearing.
Merchants?
That is not what we've heard then.
We heard about men being kidnapped, but not that.
Well, as I mentioned, there have been one of the main reasons we Sheikah do anything is that we listen to the castle town and go about doing any sort of protective missions for things like that. But apparently, not only have Sheikah not shown themselves up to their posts when it came to protecting certain merchants, also large amounts of potions and other potion ingredients have been missing.
The same thing happened with... She had a bunch of potions stolen too. That was very recent. How recent is that that letter that you got about it?
Around 6 months.
6 months? He's getting very tired of hearing that number.
A lot of things have happened 6 months ago, apparently. And it's just been setting off a chain reaction.
I'm extremely sorry. When it comes to recent activities, I have been, I suppose, indisposed. All of Kakariko, it doesn't feel as if 6 months has passed. It feels as if maybe a month.
There's a sneaking suspicion that may have some intent behind it.
Whenever I was speaking with Jasna's father, he is or at least he was, the leader of our survey corps. Whenever I had spoken to him, he said that it was convenient that we had I guess a big problem with Sheikah going in and out. We could not leave the city during the time that we were there, and no messages were getting in. He suspects that whatever had brought the dead hands to us, or the amalgam we had fought down at the bottom, have been trying to get us out of the way. And it almost succeeded in wiping out about 80% of our populace.
He wishes to aid your people in any way he can, but
our
clearly...
people are fine at the moment. When it comes to everyone, we are shaken up, but we are ready to do any aid we can for all of you, more than anything. When it comes to us, our only hopes now is that we can get back to work, and we can protect the royal family as best we can, especially if for some reason these, he motions toward the two Sheikah, are our fault.
Feels that it might be prudent to expand beyond the royal family in this. It seems all of Hyrule needs all of our aid.
We will do as best we can. We are stretched thin, but we will do as best we can.
We expect something less from the legendary Sheikah.
I feel that if we continue, we'll just be speaking about how great or how sad all of us are. Is there anything else we need to do? Currently, these two have not given us any more information than what has been given, and even despite the techniques that I've been using to try to get them to listen. The only thing I can think of currently is potentially showing them a certain demon that we have recently been brought to the attention of.
Indeed.
Yes, back home, a demon spider had shown itself to us. One that has apparently been able to resist the pull of everything that had happened at that place, that has stayed there for several generations at this point, according to it. Apparently, it has an ability to get through illusion and deception. I was thinking of bringing these two to it if whatever we had currently was fruitless.
That sounds like it might work.
We will have to set up something with it, however. It is not someone that we have any sway over. It is someone that we must ask to aid us.
Surely its advice can't be that difficult to discern.
I will get to it as soon as I'm done speaking to the king.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Meanwhile, the whole conversation, Ronan is digging through the two Sheikah's stuff for looking for masks.
Oh, like I said, he had already taken the items.
Oh, he already did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had
Would
said
you-
whenever he went to open that area, like, oh yeah, I already taken this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that you might be willing to part with those two masks?
Well, one of them is in the hands of Jasna currently.
Or with the mask you have?
Sure. Does not bother me at all. I would say don't rely on them to show you any, anything that your eyes cannot. Use them more as a tool than as a guarantee. As he brings out a second one of the masks. Even the original mask these are based off of, the one that has the true eye of truth on it, is faulty at times.
Good to know.
Truth can be fickle sometimes, I suppose.
It is.
Might still be a good thing to have.
If it was able to show everything, then magic sure hasn't evolved since the mark was made, right?
It's more like it's been lost, but you can seize your point.
Yeah, he will
We'll
hand over
find
the other
answers.
mask over towards you, Ronan.
Sure. He'll just take the one he's wearing off and I guess, does he have any room in his bag for them?
Marco
I will, because you guys don't have the things right now, I will explain to you guys, just like I would, just like the other masks that you guys have seen, the one that Gorthos had wore. This will take up a head slot, which means you guys will have to take off any helmets or hoods or things you have to wear it. Masks do not give any AC bonuses, but they do give other things.
Okay. If Marco's looking like he's asking for one, he'll hand over
Yeah,
one.
I don't know how much more time we have, but if there's any more free time, I'm about to tear our house apart, seeing if this Taki had left anything.
Yes, they were in charge of building Gorthos' forge.
It'd be something you could definitely do. As you take the mask, Marco, you make yourself out onto a vendetta. We will follow you for the last little bit of what we have here today, because it is getting to the end. We're already at 3 hours, 40 minutes. As you make your way back out, looking around with said mask, a man on a mission, looking through as much as you can, the first thing you would notice is that currently nothing really seems to be out of the ordinary. As you wear through everything, looking through the actual bits of thing, we'll take you to the center of this place. Is there anywhere in particular, other than Gorthos's place, you'd like to go?
Well, she was supposed to do a lot of stuff in our bath area.
Okay, so you want to go to Gorthos's place in the bath area? Anywhere else?
Would be in.
I'll tell you right now, if you take a single step in here, you're just gonna see a bunch of outlines on keys.
Oh boy!
Or not keys, not keys,
wow.
doorknobs.
Oh wow, doorknobs! Wow, man. So the forge is definitely a place that she's been to. This area that had all of that. I guess I'll go to the main room of our dining area / front door area, I guess would be his next best guess of where to look.
You make your way inside of Gorthos's area. As you do, at first you do for like a tiny bit notice a little bit of outline around nugget, alloy, and ingot. However, it immediately dies down. It seems like you just surprised them when you walked in. However, looking around the actual room here, you can't really see any kind of outline. The biggest outline you see is actually something you knew was here from the very beginning. The main altar has a large outline to it.
Yeah.
Which is where the Gomez had tried to throw you guys onto and fucking murderify you guys at.
Yeah, we're pretty sure the cloth in here is not that same
yes,
other
the cloth
red
is just a cloth.
Yeah.
As for the upstairs, because that'd be the closest other place to you, you can't really notice anything. You do notice a very thick outline outside of the chickens. Outside the cuckoos.
Oh. Oh my god, they're magical.
They're not magical. They're just threatening.
They're very threatening. I like to imagine he looked
This
at
is
them.
not a magic sensor. This is a threat sensor.
He imagines briefly of hitting one of them, and he sees that their entire body goes red.
As you make your way down and over into the area, you pass by the area once again, as you do still hear them talking a little bit inside. As you make it over toward your bathing area, looking around at all the new things here, because there have been benches and other things like that have been added here. Again, we don't have them depicted here because it's just a bunch of benches and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Looking out and about, you don't really notice much of anything that has changed from anything that has been worked on. However, you do notice one thing as you look over toward the stove, the one that is turning on the hot air and hot water for everything around here, does seem to have an outline around it, because again, dangerous. This is a big old hot stove, big old hot thing.
I guess since it's off, he'll at least check inside of it just to be sure.
You look inside, it seems to be the same stove as before. As you look around the area, it doesn't look as if anything immediately that any of the people worked on is giving you any kind of vibes, any kind of bad vibes.
Oh well, he tried. If it's something that the mask can't pick up, then that's something the mask can't pick up.
Again, as you're stepping away, you're like thinking back down, you're like just kind of like walking. It's like it's really weird, because if this person isn't known to the leader of the Sheikah, it's weird. There should only be 2 Sheikah that lives here, and that's very suspicious, but nothing seems dangerous. They haven't added anything dangerous to your home.
Mm-hmm. The only issue that has come up is that Ronan's whole thing this morning of being affected by the magic that I guess is over the entire town at this point is what he can figure.
Maybe.
The only other place that he could think of to check would probably be the garden, because it's got the fruit there.
You would notice a bunch of things with the chickens, and some, I mean, I think one of them is growing fucking. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay,
Meat.
one of them's growing fucking fabric. I forgot about that.
Yeah, charcoal fabric, meat.
You would notice that the goddess metal chunk one is giving off a bit of a warning.
Why the fuck the goddess metal one giving up a warning? Wait a minute.
It's dangerous shit, man.
Oh, so that's why people have a fear of goddess metal. It actually has a fear aura.
Or if that's an evil trick like Sheikah fear.
I mean, they said that apparently they put goddess metal in their weave, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
Eventually, you make your way back, Marco.
Yeah.
Without much of anything gathered there, except for, again, the fact of... oh, sorry. Except for the fact of that Taki needs to be talked to, potentially, at some point.
Yeah.
In a similar vein, and if you think this will take too long, then you can just say we'll get to it next time. But heckin',
if there's anything
Ronan,
here, we can definitely do it right now.
Ronan did want to go back to where he felt that feeling, where he collapsed, and do the Minuet of Forest to see if there's any like magical things that he can pick up with that there.
You make your way back. As you do, you again use the Minuet of Forest to try to find any kind of magical who's whatsits that might have happened here at any recency of any kind of thing. As you go about it, you do not find anything around that is giving off anything. Which again, you know to be wrong. That happened to you.
Why does this never work? It either works really, really good or not at all.
You just can't see any kind of source of magic around that has happened in the past little while, which again, you know is false.
Putting on the mask I have, still the same, nothing going on?
Nothing is any dangerous around here.
All right. Fine.
As you guys look about the house, and again, this is something that you guys hope is true, but you feel that there is nothing wrong with your house. Your house is just as safe as it has always been, which again, cannot be the case.
I guess I need to do a seance and get some answers from our house ghost.
Appears that
Because, like, that was
Gallon is
also the-
fucking with Orion up at the top and, you know, barking and stuff.
Because there was also the fact that this place is still connected to the dungeon that we didn't even know about.
Well, you know that goes into the dungeon area you've already been to.
Yeah.
And anything in a dungeon's probably gonna give off some dangerous vibes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're quite a pickle, gang.
Imagine getting to search and figure out what the fuck is going on. And we need to find Tagi. We need to find her.
I will say, given the little bit of time you guys would have had, you guys would have returned to the main section of the house. You guys would have shown Havar around a little bit as you guys looked around, and he eventually would be given the boiling apple stew that Mary and Gary have made for him. He's like, I don't like it, but I'm gonna fucking eat this down right now. I'm not proud of myself, but I'm gonna drink all of this. He doesn't say that out loud, but you know.
Oh, ew.
But yeah, at the moment you guys can't see anything dangerous here that isn't obviously dangerous. The last thing you guys get from this, you guys find that the day is getting slightly longer into the area. You guys have tried talking with one of the ones that were available to talk. You're pretty sure the other two are a part of something different, and you're decently sure Havar is going to check them out as soon as he can. Right now, you guys are at a bit of an impasse when it comes to it. Ronan, when it comes to everything, the last thing that we're going to go over, whenever you guys settle down for a moment, just kind of catch your breath, you look over toward the mask that you have put on yourself. You do find, as you look it over and then you sort of like flip it back and flip it up, that there's a sense of unease around you. That unease seems to be coming from, obviously, the thing that attacked you. Whatever that was that tried to take something from you, you're decently sure that thanks to the river goddess or oasis goddess or whatever they want to call themselves inside your head had stopped them. You're decently sure of that. But now that you've had that happen, you're wondering, would they try to do it to you again? How did they do it? And if they could do it inside of your manor, why haven't they done it again?
Yeah.
You're
His
decently
thoughts
sure.
Naturally, as part of all that,
Yeah.
wander over to Obra back at the place, and there's a little greater bit of a worry there as well.
As your thoughts wander to Obra, you immediately probably feel like, all right, gang, let's figure out more what we can do. This is magic shit. Maybe we can talk to the witches about it. As you guys settle on what you need to do next, whether that is go to the witches, go back to Castletown, go about and do anything you need to do, grab anybody you need to grab. Currently, we're going to end things off here for the night, as we are getting to the 4-hour mark, near enough of it. I think that the mystery can we wait for another week.
Shit!
Fuck.
I can't believe we had fucking an insta-kill on Ashika. That was my favorite thing today.
That is also my favorite thing. But that was my Nova round, and I only can do that once right now.
That was a good Nova round. That was a good time
really
to use
good
it.
Nova. I am very happy I used
That
it.
was fucking great, dude.
I'm gonna tell you right now, ever since you told me about having like a fake Marco in the party like a long time ago, I've been wanting to have something similar do it, and that was like my last chance. My last chance was to have him get a shot on you and then just gaslight you into playing Ashika for like the next 3 games. But he didn't even touch you.
Unfortunate for him.
Keep trying to give us these things that'll fucking turn us evil.
I was just gonna
It's
have
okay,
you
Deacon.
just be normal about it too. Like, oh man, Marco, what are you gonna do? And then just have you do whatever you're gonna do.
Listen, maybe not this campaign. Another one could happen in the
yeah,
character.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure out another one to happen in.
I don't want it to happen though. You want this to happen.
I really want it to happen. It sounds really funny. But yes, with all that being said, my dudes, we're gonna end things here for the night. Hopefully we will understand what has been targeting all these witches here and why, again, that apparently there's a big gathering of witches and they haven't fallen asleep or fucking anything. What's up with them? Fucking weird. We'll have to check out what all we're gonna do for the rest of the day, check out all these mysteries that have been happening, maybe zero in on one of them and figure something out, hopefully next time. And until next time, like always, later days.
Bye-bye.